Oh, we're live.
And we live.
This
Wow.
guy's so delayed. Just go ahead.
Outer Haven?
You already fucked it up.
Assemble! Dun, 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 dun.
Did he say the whole word?
I don't know what he said. I don't know what he said.
All right, let's assume we said Outer Haven assemble. All right.
Well, that's
Nikki.
literally what you just said. Okay,
I
anyway,
think I heard what you
guys.
said. Go ahead.
What can you? Okay, I literally just asked you before the stream. Is my shit good?
No.
Everyone's
You're
like, yeah.
clear. Okay, you're clear, but like, okay, the way you said it wasn't clear, but you were clear. Like we could hear your voice.
All right, fucking discriminating against accents out here. All right, let me talk like you Americans then. All right, howdy. This is Al Hayden.
He said howdy.
Did he say howdy?
He's throwing shots at Steve-O.
Oh, the Canadians. This is all it's to
It
do.
ain't country right now.
All right, let's just get to the stream, guys. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Our Haven. Today, obviously, there's no chapter after last week's. We're having a break this week. So today, we're going to be streaming about a whole cake discussion arc, our side stream. And this is kind of just the recap of what we think about the whole cake arc up to this point. We haven't, obviously, the arc's almost finished. We're probably like, I don't know how many chapters we are from finishing, but we're not far. So just basically our thoughts on what's been up to date right now with the whole arc and everything. So today, we've got the Our Haven crew here. We're missing a few members, but everyone's generally here. So we got Steve-O.
Yeah, how's it going?
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
We got Commodore Les.
Hello.
I'm doing all right.
We got DJ K.
He said, "Fuck DJ K." Like what? That's what I heard.
Oh, I won't swear at my captain. Hell no. No, that's fine.
Go
Captain, my captain. And we got the wise one. We got the wise one. We got Brooke or Marath. Yep, there he is.
Very beautiful.
That was beautiful, man. So, guys, let's kick this discussion off, man, because I know a few of us have been rereading the arc a bit. Myself, I've tried to reread a bit of it, but man, this arc is ooh-wee, because I just know what's coming, so it's kind of hard. Like, so let's just do like kind of what do you guys want to start with? Let's do this.
There's a lot to discuss, but like,
Okay, what about this, guys? Who's feeling positive after rereading the arc a bit?
It's gotten better with the newer information from like later in the story, so it's not like something that's crazy bad or anything like that. And I don't even think it's that bad, like looking back at it. But there were things that like I just didn't like.
Yeah, what I already said.
Maybe.
What I already said a few times. I read the arc 2 times over, and I think it's not a bad arc at all. But some people think it is. But it's just more that it's like it's a storytelling what Oda's doing right now, and there's a lot of holes of people that we saw, but he didn't do anything with that. And I already said a few times, we're gonna see that later on. So that's why he introduced them now. Later on in the story, so he's just building up the whole story.
I get where you're coming from, but I'm sorry, man. Like, to me, I'm gonna be real negative about it. I will list some positives of the arc as well, but generally, to me,
but the only thing with you is, Nikki, you want to have Jinbei dead. That's why you're hating.
No,
so hard.
It's not even that.
No, that is a fact. Yeah.
What, Jinbei and Reiju gonna die? That's not an issue. It's gonna happen, right? But
no, the Jinbei I can't see now.
Wow.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
No.
Nah, mate.
The arc ain't over. I know people keep discounting me when this happens, man. I want my name to be what was it? I want to be Emperor Vengeance. That's what my name will be. And I want you all to call me Lord Emperor Vengeance.
Nah.
Hey, that's what we had this
right,
already. I'm pretty sure it's better. I'm gonna put my name as Jinbei if he doesn't die. I remember that. I agree to that.
That's going, man. That's the thing.
Jinbei's vengeance.
Yeah, exactly. Which would be ironic as well. Goddamn.
Yeah, what actually. But I don't know, man. You know what? Like, I guess like the way like like before like the storytelling from Oda's perspective, and I guess like the lack of like fights. And I understand like this One Piece is not built upon like the fights. It's more of the storytelling that's supposed to be known. But like I don't know. I just feel like there's just a lot of mixed things. Like we've been wanting to see some clashes go down. Like we're facing like a Yonko's crew, so we expect Luffy to at least get like the 1v1 fight where there's gonna be no problems. I mean, we can assume the Katakuri is that fight, but even right now with the whole future foresight stuff that we're seeing from Katakuri, it's like how believable is it that Luffy's gonna pull something out of like his hat that's gonna give him this W? You know what I mean? Like I still want him to get it, but all the stuff that we're seeing right now from Katakuri, all the things that are being stacked up on him, it's making it less and less likely. And I don't want it to be where Luffy's gonna run away, because that would honestly piss me off if like you ask for this fight and then you're trying to get out.
But so, I mean, like, this is hard though, because we all know there's okay. The only Chatty made an argument a while back. I think that was on one of these streams as well, and I kind of agree with him a bit. The only thing that maybe not beat Katakuri but make it even is just how does Haki come into play? Conqueror's Haki especially. That's the only thing.
Yeah. Because the only thing is, I remember saying something before, saying that like, because again, like we have to see like the true form of like King's Haki and everything. What if like whatever like Luffy uses like Speedman or whatever it is like in his new form within Gear 4, right? Say it's something that it can kind of like, I don't know, disrupt like the waves inside of like Katakuri's head. Like kind of think of like a signal. You know when you're trying to connect to Wi-Fi and then there's a problem to it, like the signal's gonna kind of go off. So something like that where it's gonna disrupt that like foresight for Katakuri. So it's like he's back to like normal, so he doesn't have that foresight ability for him.
What, you think Conqueror's Haki's an EMP? Is this what you're saying right now?
I mean, here's the thing: with people who have weak wills, they crumble to it. So like, I'm not saying Katakuri has a weak will, but how advanced Luffy can use the forms of like King's Haki to his advantage to kind of like nerf. Would nerf be the right word? I mean, to kind of like lessen
even the field, basically.
Yeah, like even the field, basically. Yeah, for like what, like because come on, like we have to admit, like the foresight thing, that's way too broken. Like you could put that in any other character, it changes the fight completely. Even if that character in strength is less than Luffy, or they're not as fast as Luffy, but if they have that thing, that is a massive advantage.
But I'm agreeing with you with that one, Les, because I think what Oda's, I hope he's gonna do now, if he's gonna show something about the King's Haki, of Conqueror's Haki, however you want to call it, because we don't know that much about Haki, and I think this is the best opportunity now to do something, because a lot of people are thinking about, oh yeah, he's going to do another form, but we actually think about it is not been long that Luffy's doing actually a Gear 4 attack, so we didn't see a lot of stuff going on with the Haki and stuff, so we know that Shanks gets so many things he can do with his Haki, and then we saw this arc Katakuri actually show Katakuri actually see that he was possible to see into the future with his Haki. So you see hints of going that there's a lot of potential with his Haki. So it makes sense if Oda would show us that there's possibilities with the Conqueror's Haki to even negate some of the devil fruit powers of stronger people.
Yeah, that's true. But it's like, because it's essentially it's how we can think about it this way. It's like Gear 4, obviously Luffy can't. He has when he's going to activate. He knows essentially if he doesn't win that fight, he's dead, because there's no way he can recover in time before Katakuri doesn't kill him. So the thing is, do we think Gear 4 could literally finish Katakuri off though? It's like, because Big Mom nerfed the Gear 4 like it was nothing, and obviously she's a tier above Katakuri.
That's what I want to say. It's different. You cannot compare, I think, Big Mom with Katakuri.
Yeah, because that gap is just big anyways, right? So, because even now it's like, oh, my bad, Nikki, but I was just gonna say, like even now, like I think almost the majority of us can agree that like there's no way Luffy's funding Big Mom in this arc, and there's no way that she's gonna fall to Luffy.
Yeah, and we already got like, I know earlier on you wanted to see that whole I forgot what his name is for some reason from Kingdom, the whole clash between like Shin and him, like with Big Mom and Luffy.
Oh, like that little thing, yeah.
Yeah, and we got it. I feel like with the whole like Gear 4 versus Big Mom, and she knocked him off Gear 4.
Because I feel like anything more than that, it would be too much.
Exactly, like he's not ready yet from what we've seen.
And even what she was doing too, like sucking his Haki back, because I know like a lot of people noticed, but like the markings and stuff that were on her arm when like she grabbed onto Luffy. So like I mean like we could see something where it's explained like how she was able to pull that off, like Because if she's actually absorbing someone else's Haki, like I don't know, man. Like before, I used to have her as the weakest Yonko. I think she might be my number 2, just behind Shanks.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's difficult to say because this is the thing. Like we now saw actually one of the Yonkos for the first time doing and see actually power. We saw a little bit of, for example, from Kaido. We don't know what Blackbeard is doing at the moment, how strong he got in those years. So you see, people are always saying, "Oh yeah, Big Mama saw her. Yeah, she's definitely the strongest one." We have to wait with that before. If we have seen all the Yonkos and their power and the capability, then you can judge like, okay, she's the strongest one, or he's the strongest one. Because every time, I think, how I see it is like every time we're gonna see a Yonko, we're gonna see a stronger version and a stronger version that we build up to the strongest one. That's how I see it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
okay, oh, so you go, DGK.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, like, guys, I always bring that up is if you look at like how we've got in the community in terms of like when we first saw Whitebeard, right? It was like, okay, he's clearly the strongest Yonko, and then all of a sudden we get Kaido. It's like, okay, I guess he's the strongest Yonko, and then we get Big Mom. Now she's the strongest Yonko, and then we're gonna go now to either Shanks and Blackbeard being the strongest Yonko.
Yeah,
I feel that's just how it works.
I don't know. It's just because there's that part about, especially me and Monkey D were pissed off about, is like at 5 years old, right? Fucking Big Mom is just defeating grown adult giant pirates, just destroying them, right?
Yeah,
so,
but you have to consider that as well. We didn't saw anything about the other Yonkos and their past. So what if Shanks was actually like at his younger age already could do a lot of stuff with Haki,
bro? Like with they each had their own thing as children. Like Kaido was going around taking L's, but he was taking basically L's, as people want to call it, like, you know, like against other Yonko and against other like probably top tiers in the Marines.
Yeah,
like they each have their own backstory of being OP.
Yeah, because people are saying like, yeah, Kaido got already so many losses, but you don't know at the moment if he was like then already Yonko. Maybe he was a young kid, but he already was that strong that he got defeated, but they could not defeat him because he got a special fruit. You know, you have to find out the backstory of every Yonko to find out which one is the strongest, because maybe they got all something crazy like that.
But we know a bit of backstory about a few of them. For example, we know Kaido fought with Moria, and they were on the same tier. But then essentially something happened to Kaido. He just beasted Moria and destroyed his whole crew. So it's like we know a bit. Like the only person that for obvious reasons mysterious is Shanks, because I think all of us generally believe Shanks is number 1. I hope.
We all know.
I think he has to be at this point.
If he's being displayed last, like I feel like it's a guarantee that, like, from the trend, like I said before, like when people look at every Yonko when they're displayed, they seemingly are stronger than the previous one. And this one-armed man, is competing with these beasts. Like how?
Yeah, exactly.
And like Shanks hasn't really lifted the things he's done. Just on his reputation, that's just enough. Like, how are you gonna stop a war against when Akaini's going crazy and he just stopped it? That's why I was just like, okay, this guy must be fucking all that in a bag of chips.
Yeah, no, he's crazy strong, bro. That's like the sole fact of him being under Roger and like fighting these other, or I would assume fighting these other top tier people, even when he was like a 12-year-old like cabin boy. Like he got experience faster than any other character that I can think of in the story. In terms of like him being a young person under the strongest man basically in the world, fighting these other top tiers, like I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. But let's start listing positives, because I think there's too many negatives. Because what are you guys thinking like positives about this arc?
I would definitely throw in like, you know, like the characterization for like Sanji, because I know like we like to throw like rag on him a lot because like, oh, he's not getting any fights and everything, but realistically they just come going back and like looking at this arc and stuff. Like I get Oda's complete message of what he's trying to do with him. It's like he's trying to overcome adversities with like his family. You know, we found out like how he was treated and stuff, and then like that pretty much like, you know, when we always like rag on him, say like, oh, he's shit, like he has, you know, he's garbage, whatever. Like just like from a character standpoint, we know why he's like this now because of his family. And I think now it's like even myself, I like to rag on him and stuff, but I'm a Zoro fan, but it's at the same time it's like I come to appreciate Sanji a lot more as a character, and like especially how we saw like with Pudding and everything. Like I feel like honestly, like even the Pudding stuff too, I think has just been some of the best stuff in the story, because like now it's like we get to see that perspective of an actual girl who does care about Sanji, and I think like even then like she would be a great addition. I think maybe not to the crew, but as like part of like the Grand Fleet, because I know some people with like I think Joy Boy was the one who talked about like the potential of like having like an alliance or something. I don't see that alliance coming from Big Mom. I still think that they're gonna like hate each other at some point, but there could be a chance we could see like they're split in two. We're like putting maybe.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, my bad. I was gonna say, yeah, I was gonna say like we're putting. Let's say that she takes control of let's say like half of the Big Mom pirates in terms of like let's say like the ones who believe like yeah Big Mom's crazy, we can't live with her anymore. Like we can't work under her. Well, we got to work with someone else. And Pudding could be like that flag bearer in a sense. And then like I can assume Katakuri would be the same way. Because like if we know with them, they're always scared with their family. So like I was scared of Big Mom because of what she's been doing to their family and stuff. So like I don't know.
Oh my Pudding! Oh, if she's just
why do you hate her?
God. It's just because she's like such a clean. Like I'm sorry, I made this argument before, but I'm just saying Robin, Nami, fucking Viola, that who should be Sanji's bae, by the way. Even everybody's got like the same kind of I turn out evil, but I'm actually a good person kind of backstory, which is annoying. Like it's too much, man. I just really don't like Pudding. It's just like fuck Pudding.
I mean, I always say this and stuff, and it's like with One Piece, it's never meant to be a series you're supposed to read weekly. It's honestly a series you got to read by the volumes.
Yeah,
because like if you're expecting like this to happen, like you're gonna be disappointed very easily, and it's like. I read like even myself, like every time a new volume comes out, I'm always going back and reading things, and I come to appreciate where Oda's coming from because like you understand like his storytelling, how things are set up, why he has characters doing certain things, the way they're done, like they're there for a reason. Like it does make sense that like yeah, there's some things like he might have dropped the ball on, and some things like we completely like on like we saw something of it and got nothing of it, like with Pound. Like we were all hyping him up, like oh my god, your Pound's gonna be crazy.
Pound.
I still do too as well.
Shit, bro. He's relevant again.
But it's like, yo, he's on the boat. Yeah, like he's on the boat. He's on his way, like trying to escape. I would assume, but then it's like, man, I thought this guy was the one that was putting Big Mom in check. That's why she put him in the ground. But I was like, no, like you were just a bug this entire time. But like, I still feel like he's gonna be hype. But it's just like I don't know the way Oda does come across with some of these things, like. It is suspect, but I would wait until the arc itself is finished before like really like questioning him because let's be honest, he wouldn't be here where he's at right now for 800 plus chapters if he didn't have something to be remembered for. You know what I mean? Like he has like all the work that he's done, it's enough to get him to this mark where we wouldn't have to question him. Like we could question some stuff, but not completely question like his storytelling.
Okay, I don't want to get too negative because we're on positives now, but I'll say this like. A thing I liked was obviously after like kind of rereading it and watching an anime. I do like the Luffy Cracker fight a lot more now, even though the 19 hours thing's a bit of annoying, like how much time passed. I still kind of like it more because of the anime.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you guys feel about that. Like, how do you feel about that fight now?
Well, the thing is with the manga, like I'm gonna be honest with the manga, it didn't really do Luffy that much service. Like in terms of like the way like his portrayal, like you saw like Cracker looked like he was really like taking that fight to him and stuff. I mean, wasn't there one point I think in the manga where we saw like Cracker was actually sitting on top of like a little cupcake or something during the fight, and they actually replicated that in the anime, or was that just like only anime only?
I remember.
But even like then, like there's like little portions like he was really like going at him and stuff, right? And I'm just like in the anime they trying to make it where like he didn't have that big of an advantage. So for Luffy, like it looked good in the anime, but like of course when it comes to the source material, like it's got to be the manga over everything. So like we know like the first and foremost that like Luffy did not have this. I wouldn't say easy, but he wasn't on the same playing field pretty much as Cracker during the whole time. And shout out to Nami because that's like the next portion I want to get into. The Straw Hats like themselves, like the side, like not the side members, but like the other members of the crew. They honestly, that's probably the best part of Hokigalan is the shine that we got from like Nami, Brook, Chopper, even seeing what Carrot's been doing as well, and then of course the Jinbei greatness recently. Like,
I have to admit, yeah, okay, Brook's definitely MVP. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, actually, and maybe Pedro, fucking, I don't know if Pedro's dead or not. To be honest,
yeah. I mean, it's like Brook, it's very easy for the stuff he's done, but I just feel like at the same time, man, either Jinbei, I think is like the closest one to him for that spot. And then, like in the top 3 conversation, Nami's got to be the number 3.
Now, I think she's number 2. Like, fuck Jinbei. Like, no offense to Jinbei, but kind of
Well, I mean, it's so tough to
Nami's
say.
done more to help, though. Nami's done way more. Like, she saved Luffy's life a few times.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But then I'm looking at it, it's like we saw like what Jinbei did, man. Because if Jinbei was in that position during when the tsunami was coming in, like GG story, like you know what I mean. So like I think that accomplishment itself, like, and even then, like him standing up to Big Mom, you know, his affiliations to the Straw Hats and everything, and then like I don't know, it's so tough because like you know I'm happy with Nami just getting all the shine, but like when it comes to like a life and death situation, like I think anyone who pulls a feat where you're alive at the end of the day, like that's got to outweigh some stuff.
I don't know, man. When Nami pulled out the super lightning attack, that even though obviously it was never gonna hurt Big Mom, obviously, but it did enough
took out the
damage.
army members, though. Yeah,
took out all the rest of everyone else just to give them more time to get away. And it was like those kind of little bits of like MVP-ness. Like you're just like, damn, man, fuck.
Oh, let me see in the chat real quick though. Jemmy Johnson says believing in Pound is like believing in Bobbins. I need to ask your thoughts though. What so like. We're probably going to talk about it anyways, but like, what do you guys think with Bobbins? Like, is he going to come back?
He should be.
And if he is he going to be anything significant?
I don't know at this point. I think he died.
I'm ashamed of it.
I hope so.
It'd be so weird though, because like usually Oda doesn't like to like waste characters.
Yeah,
so, he completely wasted him. Like it was even what? Okay,
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, usually he doesn't. I'm saying like in this case, I want to say he's coming back because of like the past events of like no character goes wasted. But he got shot, and it seemed like he got executed.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing this arc did for me that kind of made me less respect some Yonko's crews. Like now, I feel like every Yonko's crew is gonna have a Bobbins who you think's sick, but he's not, and you're gonna have a guy like I don't know what Custard Face's name is. What's Custard Face's name?
Custard
Opera.
Face. Oh,
Opera. Like that fucking retard, right? like, what the fuck was he doing? Like, it was ridiculous. Like, there's too much. That's what I'm saying. Like, now it's just, anytime I look at Yonko's crew, I'm just like, there's going to be 2 retards on the crew for definite. And it's just like, oh my god. It's like, that's what I don't want to get into negatives because we're on the positives. So, yeah, but still, there's too much shit. Oh my god.
I mean, the positives, like, I know you most of you guys might disagree with it, but Big Mom's backstory I feel was a positive in terms of like displaying like from like the get-go from like an early age to now like where her power level and stuff is, like because I feel like if we weren't getting this even at a young age and stuff, like I'd kind of be disappointed. It's like because then it's like you look at the time gap for like let's say like in her 20s she became strong. You know what I mean? Like it'd be like okay, so like when Luffy who's like 16, 17 having all these like crazy fights and like this chick's only gonna get it like in her mid-20s. Like,
I was kind of surprised we actually got her backstory and like this early. But,
really? Oh, okay.
I mean, like I know it
makes sense. It does make sense, Chris. We read this about her, so
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's her arc, but I was just surprised that like we didn't get like a small taste of it in a sense, and then we get the rest later. I don't know if that's
like maybe if we go to like Elbaf or something, maybe there's more details.
That's why I thought at first was like we'd get the rest of it there, maybe.
I mean, it could be possible.
We saw a good chunk of Elbaf like before, you know, like for instance Wano, like we never saw anything from Wano besides like you know like in full detail besides like the Odin thing. But I'm saying like we didn't see like the actual landscape and all that other shit where we got a good chunk of Elbaf. I feel like.
Yeah, and then at the same time, like I feel like with Elbaf, I don't think we've seen everything yet too, because like I feel like you know like the little village that they were at and stuff. I feel like that's just one part. Like if we're the whole idea of like you know Jack and the Beanstalk kind of thing, right? Like if the actual like Elbaf kingdom is somewhere up in the sky or something, like I mean that would be really cool. So that way it's not like this is Elbaf, and then it's like okay, we're gonna get here and these all these little villages, like you know like I guess to really expand like Oda's like world building and stuff. So it's not like we know something ahead of time, and it's like when we get there, it's like, oh, well, we kind of know this already, right?
Right.
Yeah. Actually, I got another positive as well, and I think one is definitely like Luffy's progression, like stuff like when essentially when Jinbei just set up that meeting of Capone, the old Luffy would be like, fuck that, I don't want to really like, I just want to do my own thing, like we're gonna take that Big Mom my own way. But this time, this Luffy's like, yeah, we're gonna do what we gotta do there, let's join up, and even currently now, what he's doing with against Katakuri, like he's not going crazy. Like he's doing it as much as he can without going gear forth, which is really impressive to me. Because usually it feels like Luffy from like pre-war arc, he would have definitely
Yeah.
gone get fourth by now. I reckon,
Right.
yeah, to be honest. So that's why I do like that kind of thing. Like, it's showing growth for Luffy. So that's I'm pretty impressed about this whole character progression.
Yeah, and then especially like I mean we're gonna probably talk about like the next part of this like in the next because the thing I want to add up. Madara in the chat was saying positives: Big Mom powers, backstory and characterization, facts, and negatives. He said info networking, going to the crapper,
Yeah.
her crew's incompetent, even Smoothie, and running around in the seducing woods. Now, the seducing woods thing, I do feel that was a negative in terms of like I think Oda could have cut that down completely, especially the time gap thing. I don't think that was honestly needed. Like, especially what we saw Nami doing to kind of reduce like the crackers and stuff. So like it makes it easier for Luffy to kind of like stay in the fight. I don't think there's a need to go 11 hours, especially when he's able to recover in like what 10 minutes after the fight.
Yeah, that that was weird to me because I remember when me and Dan were talking about it prior. Like, I thought like this was gonna be the time Cracker was gonna just dominate Luffy and like
Yeah.
kind of show us like the strength difference. Like we're against Katakuri right now, and so like I didn't really see. Like I still have an issue with Nami being there because like it's not like she's weak or anything. It's just like she shouldn't be relevant to the fact that like I don't see why he couldn't have sent one biscuit soldier past Luffy to go kill her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Then like the homies were like holding him off and shit. Like I just thought that was weird.
Yeah, I think the homies can excuse that though. That's why I get what you mean, but I think the homies were enough to at least like obviously just be fodder for the
negatives now?
soldiers.
Yeah, and then there's the fact too that like Nami was kind of like spamming the attack after for the rain and stuff. So like for Cracker, like he really didn't like he's like, oh, this just some dumb bitch with a rod. You know what I mean? Like in his head, that's what he's thinking, and it's like I'm gonna fight this guy as the captain. Like that was his whole orders was on Luffy. So I figured like to him like he didn't consider her as a trouble. But then afterwards, what we saw her do, it's like yeah, I think I should have just killed her.
But it's like remember when Cracker mentioned that Big Mom sent him specifically because of Doflamingo game beat and because that she didn't want to like downplay Luffy. And it's like then they're going and downplaying Luffy and then they lose again like every arc. That's why I have issues with is when it's happening every single arc. Where they're like, oh, okay, like Luffy's not that big of a threat, and then like the next villain says, oh yeah, remember when he beat that person for the previous arc? I won't doubt him. Blah blah blah.
Well, I mean, the only thing I can say on that is like underestimating him definitely, but I like okay, maybe I think in that situation you would have not put Cracker. Like in my opinion, I think you should have gone with Smoothie or maybe Katakuri because regardless at the end, right, Luffy ends up getting captured by the enraged army, right? So wouldn't it make more sense to have the number one or number two be the one to fight him? He loses initially, but the whole wraparound is like if Big Mom's not following this arc, and we know he's gonna escape, but at least to show that like going into Wano, he's gotta be close on the power level to soon fight Kaido. Because if he's not ready to fight the Sweet Generals right now, he should not be able to fight the Calamities. So, like, I think he should have lost to Katakuri or Smoothie initially, go towards the end of the arc, eventually figures out a way how to get through, I guess, their abilities, and then ends up defeating them afterwards.
Yeah, but that's why I always said to a lot of people that what I think is that he's actually Katakuri is like a learning school for Luffy, what he can do with his powers.
Yeah,
and he's showing that because I had this discussion with Waldo, and Waldo and I was both agreeing about this one. Is that what Katakuri is doing? He makes his body like massive out of mochi, and you see how big it goes. And Luffy uses this moment air. But if he uses his attacks with a totally only rubber instead of air, it makes it stronger. So in that way, he can grow still in his fighting skills.
That's true. It's like when in Alabasta when Crocodile's like using a devil fruit to its like full ability kind of thing. Like, when then Luffy started using it better and everything. Yeah, I get what you mean. And also, I was going to mention as well is what. Is everyone there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh yeah, no. So yeah, my bad. Oh yeah, I was going to mention as well. The one thing I thought was really cool is the fact that actually Cracker is actually his form was actually a fake form, and no one else besides obviously Nami and everyone who was there when they're fighting has seen his true form. Like I thought that was quite a good twist by Oda. So I was like, oh, this guy looks like a beast, and then you see him come out and like, oh, he's not that bad. Like he doesn't need to see more of that. When you see him fight, like, holy shit, this guy's a savage.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, like the whole idea that like the world government, which depends on who all fought him, But I
Yeah.
would assume they would send like a vice admiral if they ever like heard that he left the island. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't send like a captain or anything to fight him. But the fact that they never actually like beat him to the point where he broke his armor, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly. That's why that's why I say there's like obviously like I said there's 2 retards in every Yonko crew, but sort of like when you see the obviously the top tier, the commanders and stuff, it's like okay, just the fact that Crackers his armor's only be broken a few times that he can like he said, so it's just like wow, these commanders are about that life kind of. So
All right.
So like what other positives have you got? Because my other positive is okay, it's kind of a negative and a positive. Like I do like finding more about Sanji's backstory because that did give me like a gut punch. I was like, God damn, you went through all that shit, like having like such a horrible childhood, and then you go to almost starving to death straight after. Like that was just, I was like, oh my.
There's not so many positives in this arc for me, but I guess Sanji's backstory is one of them.
Yeah.
I think another positive would be the aesthetic for the Big Mom Pirates, like the whole territory, the characters, everything, like their different designs.
Yeah, that's true.
I think they're very whimsical, very lighthearted. I like them.
Like your boy Worm Dog.
And then it's sort of off-putting because a lot of these guys are very dark, like Peril Sparrow. He looks like the Candyman, but apparently he's a pedophile and
yeah, he looks like a pedophile.
And he eats people. So
wait, who's a pedophile?
Peril Sparrow.
Oh, okay, that's the first thing I walked into when I came back.
It's so ironic.
Like, okay, whoa.
It's like he says he's a pedophile, but then you've got him as your like cover screen thing. That's what made me laugh. I was like, what?
Yeah, man, I still love that nigga Peril Sparrow. What you mean?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
Would Caesar make more sense as the pedophile? I don't know. I mean, he was a punk hazard. Come on, we can't lie now.
What you guys think?
If Caesar's a pedophile because of what he did at Punk Hazard.
I don't think he cares for children. I think he'd be the exact opposite.
Sparrow would be one.
Sparrow.
Jimmy Johnson's like pedal Steve.
Oh, come on.
Hey, that was his words, not mine. That was his words.
I see.
Jimmy Johnson, man.
Oh man.
Let me mod him. I'll check
actually, one of the best moments for the arc for me was the whole, obviously they really nicely foreshadowed the life will treat thing. So essentially, when we saw Swirly Hair die, I keep forgetting all the following. Moscato died.
Moscato.
When Moscato died, I was like, anytime she does it to someone, they're gonna fucking die, basically. And then Jinbei does it during the wedding, and then everyone's just shocked when nothing happens. Like that was awesome. I did love that part. I was like, God damn.
I need to ask though, were you guys sad though when Moscato died?
No.
I kind of was.
Really.
I kind of was because
I guess I was kind of shocked because she killed her son.
Yeah, I mean, because I felt like he was kind of more like the human of like their family and stuff. In terms of like he's just a normal guy. He's just he's 9 to 5. He's there just doing his job, and then like all his family, all the other family members are whack jobs and shit. Like, So
He's kind of working a 9 to 5.
I mean, he ought to be, man. He's got the ice cream and stuff, man. Like, he was putting in work. And, just the mom, I don't know, man. Sometimes if your mama doesn't like your work, you're going to get your life sucked out. So,
I guess it sounds like giving Moscato a character that wasn't there.
I think he should. Well, that's the thing. If he comes back to life, then, like, all those tears are going to be dried up. So,
yeah, but I mean, I could see Moscato, being what you're saying he was. But for all we know, Moscato could have been even worse than Peril Sparrow.
True.
I mean, we need a backstory soon. Now I'm hyped for it.
Yeah, we'll probably wait for that for a long time.
I like the potential of the Big Mom Pirates as well, but I don't really think that counts for much.
Well, I think in terms of creativity into the Adult Fruits, I think they might be the best that we've seen, like of any crew thus far.
Like I really like I'm so blanking on everyone's name today. Like it's so bad. Yeah, the book Montior's powers, like I think they're fucking really cool. Like essentially when Luffy got beaten up by the Rage Army, he got put in a book world, and he got beaten. He took those 2 like Haki punches. It's like this shows to me their teamwork could be like crazy. Like imagine them at Marineford and just doing that kind of crazy shit.
Like spamming attacks and like that.
Yeah. It'll be insane to see because I don't know how. Like I don't even know how you could like deal with that if you're like the Marines because they're just such odd powers. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Let's see. In the chat, Dan D Zoro says positives: Jinbei setting in place as a Straw Hat, Nami's character stepping up and being more relevant, Sanji's backstory, and Luffy's positive character development.
Yeah,
I definitely. I say Sanji's backstory was really damn good.
Yeah,
like if you really look past like all the stuff that's like with the Vince Smokes later on and everything, like it is quite sad. I think the anime did a great job handling that. Granted, like some of the flashbacks, they kind of overdid it at some parts and it kind of killed the vibe, but realistically on the first watch and like a first read, it was really impactful.
Yeah,
Iron Helmet, Duval. But,
fuck. Yeah, and it's like poor guy because like because it was a joke the whole time, and it's like no, that was legit. Judge sent those goons after him, like.
Sanji's backstory was so depressing.
Yeah, I mean, like he might be top 3 sad backstories now. To be honest, like Robin's still number 1, but goddamn, he might be. Up there.
It's because the thing, man, it's like I rock so much with Law's backstory because I felt like that with Corazon and just like how he changed this kid from being like this suicidal maniac to like someone who found found some kind of meaning in his life. That meaning of life was taken away from him, and then it's like he's kind of like on the fence, on the border of life and death. I love that. When it's with like Robin, it's like, she had stuff, and then it was taken away from her, and then now she's on the run, and then like she has to. It's kind of like the opposite of Law's story, where it's like Law it went from good to bad for a majority of the time, and then there was some good, and then with like Robin's like it was good, and then went to completely shits until she was like 27, 28.
Yeah. But okay, I'll say top 5. So even for like Law's backstory is fucking Law's top 5. I can't. Yeah.
I gotta still pull Law. Like Law, Robin. I want to put Nami's at the number 3 because honestly, I feel like even now a lot of people like overlook it in a sense.
Nah, Sanji's is worse than Nami's, definitely.
Oh, you see, maybe Nami's is better than Sanji's, or the other?
No, the other way around. Dude, his mom died and his father disowned him, and his family basically, and he almost starved to death like literally the week after. I was like, God damn, that's too much, man. That kid
I mean, the only thing would be worse. Yeah, the only thing would be worse if Arlong had put Nami like in a trap house or some shit. Then I would kind of give the nod.
Well, he kind of did. He just said, "Hey, get this money from me, bitch, and just travel the seas."
Yeah, like she's out here. Yeah, she's out here in the tower and stuff. I mean, if it was a seinen manga, we're pirates, bro. I mean, like,
it don't even gotta be a seinen manga though. They still pirates. We know what they do.
Yeah, I mean, all doesn't have to see it. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Arlong, would you rape her?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. He's a fisherman.
If you use our
line, actually, wait, this is so weird coming from you, Subperil Steve-O. All right, let's do it. I'm joking.
I mean, he has.
I would if I was Arlong.
Okay, now.
Holy shit. Okay, even though this is the weird line of questioning. The fact that he's a fisherman, I don't think fishermen dig like fucking normal people like that. You know what I mean?
Arlong might have been sick in the head or something, and I mean, like we kind of saw like in Fishman Island, like
he hates
back
humans,
in the day.
Though he fucking hates humans.
He hates them, but like he used them to their advantage, like his advantage, though.
Yeah, of course, but if there's no way he'd get into like any relations with them like that. Like,
oh yeah, definitely. But I mean, like,
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Like think about it. Think about it. You a soul brother in the 70s, and you trying to get back at the man for all the injustice that your people went through. What's your goal in life?
I understand.
Trying to lay down with all the bad white women that you can find.
Bruh. So
put in this context, say that then after like, but this is weird to argue, but it's just the fact that Arlong hates humans. So like after seeing the Fishman Islands and the whole backstory, I can't ever see that,
bro.
Huh?
So like on the whole, like whether he would do it or not, I feel like he sees like humans as insects. It's like to him, it's like bestiality.
No, to him.
Because think about it, bro. Because you making it sound like you making it sound like they he viewing humans as if he don't want to use them for anything, but he was using her for something.
No, he was using them as like slaves, basically.
Bro, you can use a hunting dog.
So why can't she be
have sex with your hunting dog?
Because it's not like he's not into them like that.
Good analogy.
I mean, is that not right? Is that not how that works?
It's true. Yeah, it's true.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Oh wait, what? I missed it.
Keep conservative.
It's in the story, bro. It's in the story. These niggas pirates. He viewed himself as a god to humans, Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he be using her for whatever he wants to?
Yeah, I mean, if the guy has clout, like he expands it.
He's still a man. He's still a man with base needs.
No, he's a fish man.
Oh,
He probably like fish pussy. That's
okay, he's saying. A male. He's a male. Since you want to get technical.
No, he's a fish man who likes fish pussy. Like
I said, he's a male with base needs. He sees this beautiful woman that he can use and abuse in any way that he wants to. Okay, all right.
I'm just saying, unless
I think that kills it, Nikki. I think that kills it, bro.
No. Unless Naomi had to do some like those dress up night and like you better dress up as a mermaid, bitch, and then some shit like that, and maybe I don't know, but generally just human.
We have to go back to Haki Island.
Yeah, I was gonna ask this question. It's Haki Island related and stuff, but I just saw it right now in the chat. We're going like saying, let me see. Pereira de Caesar is like, I'm a Dofi fanboy on the antagonist side, but I want to ask you guys, in terms of the antagonists that we've seen thus far between Katakuri and Doflamingo, because I think we might have seen enough right now of Katakuri's character to kind of judge whether he could be a better antagonist. If he's a better antagonist than Doflamingo.
No.
Before we get into that, I want to read this one guy's comment because he just made a statement about the negatives. He says, "How to introduce Pudding's behavior. Vivi card was not great. How Luffy beat Cracker wasn't that great either. I want more explanation on certain fights, like how Brook cut the homie." Okay.
Well, the Cracker thing. I mean, it's been said like he's a glass cannon, pretty much, right? So like once you tap him, and he
says he doesn't like.
That was never really said. It's just that he didn't like pain.
Yeah, it's like I might not like getting a needle at the doctor's, but like I'm not gonna fucking die from it. You know what I mean?
No, but that was a hell of an attack, though. Still.
No, I know, I get that. But I'm just saying, like, it's not like if you walked up to him and red hawked him, he's KO'd.
For me, it's not even about whether or not that attack was strong enough to take him out. It's just the way that he made himself susceptible to the attack. He jumped right into it with no Haki or anything.
Yep, it doesn't make sense at all, bro.
Well, okay, maybe essentially could we say the fact that he used a lot of Haki making the biscuit, like not making the biscuit soldiers, but like obviously arming them up with their defense and stuff. So essentially,
Nikki, but even still, bro, why jump into that? It's clearly made for defense.
Yep.
And if you know you low on stamina, like if what you're saying is true, he has no Haki. He would know that. Like, he would know that he has no Haki, right? So why would he jump into it?
Because I think he just got arrogant about it. Like that one I can justify just because the anime like did a good job with the fight.
It should be this anime made up for it. That's the one thing I have a huge issue with is it should be in the manga because I don't know, that doesn't make sense to me at all. Why we have to wait like months to be this is how it really happened. Like that the not Oda fucking decided how it should have been written because it's like
I don't at all. I don't like it too much either, but I'm also happy.
No, I'm happy we get it, bro. But like the way we get it, I feel like it shouldn't be that way.
I agree.
Yeah. Actually, and I want to name another positive as well. Like, even though it did turn into a negative later, but the fact that Pudding really shat on Sanji and just like, I don't even like that guy. I'm not gonna marry him, and just said all that terrible shit about him. And Sanji was like crying, and he hit rock bottom. Like, I love that shit. That was good. Even though I didn't like it at the time, when I look back at it now, I'm just like, yeah, that was really good, just emotionally for Sanji. He needed to hit rock bottom, man. Like he was acting like he needed to just,
like I did positive for him, pretty much,
Yeah, it was just like it wasn't too positive, just like it was just he needed to get this like feel like everything was going to shit because he didn't treat Luffy right. Like essentially. Like the whole fight with Luffy, that I do like that now, even though it was mad disrespectful. You shouldn't be kicking your captain in the face and shit, but still, I did kind of like that as well.
I mean, it's gonna set up for Zoro to smack the shit out of him when we get to Wano, because like, there's no way Zoro's not gonna not find out by the time we get to Wano. Like, I could see that being like the conflict that's gonna be caused when we get to Wano. Like, when that news breaks out. I mean, it could be like during a drinking session or something, Brooke, or someone's gonna say it, and then it's gonna cause a fight. And then Zoro's gonna be like, I thought you said that you were gonna handle things, like you're not gonna let shit like this happen. Like, look what you're going to do, especially to the guy that is a piece of shit that I hate. Like,
I don't know.
Lance, you were gonna ask a question earlier. I'm sorry, Nikki, but you were gonna ask a question earlier about Katakuri or Dofi. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, so basically saying like between Katakuri and Doflamingo. I mean, considering I think we've seen enough, I think of Katakuri in terms of him being like an antagonist. Do we think that he's like who do you find more impressive as an antagonist, Doflamingo or Katakuri?
If you're talking about
Dolphy, like
I
straight
would
away.
say
yeah,
Dofi.
I would say if you're talking about just like not strength and shit like that, you're talking about purely like who did a better job at
Yeah,
being
like
displayed as
in
a
general,
villain.
anything. Yeah, in everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
I think
things
Dofi.
considered, I still say Dofi.
And the
Yeah.
thing is, the theory about I remember I was talking to Chatty mentioned it as well. Like he's got a theory of Katakuri actually being not that bad of a guy, like
Yeah.
which makes a lot of sense if you think about it. So, but Dolphy was just pure evil. Like I was just kind of, like when you think of Dolphy, it's like God damn, he's a scumbag. You know what I mean? So, like, and
Yeah.
Katakuri, you can see why he can be seen as a good guy because essentially, like, everyone else, Daifuku wanted to fuck up. Mirror bitch. Sorry.
Brule.
Relay.
Brule. Like Daifuku was all pissed with Brule and stuff, but Katakuri was all chill with her because he understands the whole. Like he seems like he's the protector of the crew. Like essentially, when Big Mom goes nuts and he's around,
Yeah.
he'll do stuff to protect them. Kind of
You
thing.
said Daifuku was upset with Brule?
Yeah, he wanted like to like install your throat Brule kind of thing. Oh no, but that's
Oh, that
pudding,
was
right?
pudding. It was pudding.
Yeah, sorry, putting my bad. But essentially, I feel like the rest of the crew will be more pissed with Brule than how Katakuri was. Katakuri is like, oh, okay, whatever. Like,
Yeah, I think if it was like Smoothie or even Cracker, they'd be like, "What is this stupid bitch doing?" Like she would have been already dead by now. But I think it's because I think at the same time, like Katakuri, I think is the more of like the sweet generals and like just the siblings. I think he's the most like like I won't say human. I don't want to throw the word human, but like the more understanding. I think. Whereas like Smoothie's like the arrowhead clearly, and like Cracker is just bad choices that he makes.
because essentially, like the amount of times, like, there's a weird thing. The amount of times Kawakiri's had a chance to at least take out members of the Straw Hat crew, and he hasn't. That's the thing. It's always been like, if he was like Dolphy wouldn't hesitate. Dolphy was like, all right, I'll kill him, or you just use him as a puppet or something. But like Kawakiri just doesn't do that. He's just on doing. He's playing with them and biding time and stuff. So
Yeah. I mean, like, do we feel like he has ties to somebody else and stuff? Like, if he is like down with Big Mom's crew, like he could be like working with someone else. Because I know like people are throwing around like he could be affiliated with Dragon or something. But like, I mean, who's to say it's not true? I mean, like he could be tied to somebody, or like in general he just wants
Yeah,
to see
but
Luffy
but
grow.
we talk every time about that because first Ace was the son. A lot of people thought Ace was the son of Dragon until we found out that it was actually the son of Goldie Roger. There's every time there's stuff like that that we say. So that's the difficult thing. We can argue a lot about that, but we don't know. So what you're saying about that should be actually, not to be rude, but Big Mom should have sex with Dragon.
Yeah.
hell no.
Well, she was looking good in the past.
But Dragon would have been well young. He wasn't like how old is he? Dragon's like the same age as Shanks almost, right? Like around about
He's
that
four.
age.
Well, if we're going by the timeline stuff of how it worked out, like when Big Mom was in her 20s, she would okay when she was in her 20s, I think Dragon was already born. So by the time she was, like, the only way it would happen if she was like 48, like in the other photo we saw. Which even then, like I don't know, because the thing is with Dragon, like he has that weird chin too, like the structure of his face, and that's the only way I could see it connecting with like 40-year-old Big Mom because she already had the chin.
They had a chin connection, yeah.
Yeah, like if you think of like Fairly Odd Parents, the Crimson Chin.
Oh no, I haven't seen it, but yeah, I get what you mean.
It's
Though.
a North American thing, but yeah.
No. We have very old parents here. They just stopped showing it. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. But like I don't know, man. Like at the same time, like if Katakuri is teaching Luffy at this point, right? Like why? Like does he? Because I mean, like the whole future foresight thing. Like does he see a situation where like something's gonna happen down the line where like maybe this kid needs some help and stuff because I can understand his ability better than like let's say anyone else would like.
It would be crazy if one of two things, which is either like you said earlier with the whole if Big Mom makes an alliance but it's not hers, it's someone else's besides Pudding, maybe like because he loves his family so much that he's helping Pudding out indirectly, or which I don't think about this, but it goes against his power. But if he somehow saw the whole reverie happening in some way somehow and saw like they're going to go out of their way to start killing pirates and like directly as in like genocide. Maybe he's just, like, and he sees Luffy as like the only big opposition to the government. Maybe he's doing it for that reason.
But that's we're assuming that he can see that far into the future.
No, I don't think that's how his powers work. I'm just saying like that could be a potential another thing. I feel that'd be like super like crazy because like how far.
Yeah, and we don't know if like this is. Yeah, because I was gonna say we don't even know if this is like the true extent to like his foresight ability. Because if he, let's say like for example, he pulls some eyes and shit, and just like, yeah, this is only a quarter of what I can do. Like honestly, at that point, it's just like, bro, like Oda. Because my thing is like, I feel like it's so hard to say because I feel like with the number ones and then the number 2 and 3, there should be massive gaps and stuff in terms of their power level. So it's like they're not all, because I feel like with the number 2 and 3 and even the 2 to the 1 could be even close. So it makes it like where Luffy, if he beats like the number 3, he should be on the level of the 2, and he's not far away from the 1. But if he's struggling with the 3, how does he match up to the 2 and the 1? You know, it's either like you give Luffy what he needs to beat these guys, or you don't scale the Yonko commanders that high. But then it's like you have to, because then it's like the Yonkos have to be way above their right hand man. There's got to be something that like sets them apart from each other. And we know that with Big Mom, like that's the thing. Because with Big, I think combat wise, if we have that foresight thing, who's to say that Katakuri can like stand up to her in combat? And the only thing that's stopping him is like the soul fruits.
That's true. But I feel like we might get a Katakuri backstory soon. So I reckon he's gonna be pretty sad as well because I reckon his mouth. Yeah, he's gonna have a terrible scar on his mouth because it seems like the only person out of the commanders I've ever seen have a scar is Smoothie. Like I don't know what happened to Snack. Snack's not even heard of. He might be dead or whatever.
My boy Rouge put him in the ground.
I hope Snack's not dead. I don't think he's dead.
Nah, man,
I really don't think Big Mom's that stupid, bro.
Bro, Rouge said his prayer, gave him a prayer and everything. Like,
no, but why don't? It's just I don't think she tolerates failure. Basically, like
that's stupid though. That's extremely stupid. You just gonna kill your people because they fail? They don't win all the time. You think they go around taking nothing but W's?
Well, then take a look at the mafia though. Like if let's say you ask one of your hitmen to go and kill somebody, and then like imagine this isn't the first time. If Snack did this like multiple times, would you think like, oh, like you're no use to me? That's where I can see like them getting rid of them. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking for like the mafia
aspect. That's ridiculous. That's way too overboard.
No, but if you put
all you have to do is demote him.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I'm just saying, it's who that Snack lost to. It's like Yuruj. It was just what 2 years after essentially he's been a pirate. I don't know how long he's been a pirate for, but I'm assuming the same time as Luffy. So let's say what, like 2 years and a bit or something, or maybe more.
Okay,
so like 4 maybe 4 years or something like that. But essentially, he's part of the worst generation. A pirate that long, and one of your commanders already losing to someone like that who's only been a pirate like let's say max, just to round that out, 5 years. It's embarrassing, man.
So you kill him.
Well, that's the thing. Like, is this the first time?
Maybe.
Because the thing is, we don't know if this is the first time that Snack has ever lost a fight like this. Because I mean, well, the only thing is, they do it to save face. Is the only way that I can see it from Big Mom's perspective is like I don't want people knowing that like Snack lost. Because we don't know like anyone else outside the island knows that Snack's been defeated. Because the world government probably assumes that there's still like 4 sweet generals right now.
So Laz, let me get this straight. You're saying to keep people from finding out he lost, you kill him.
Well, then here.
No, but
the
way they ask questions. Why is he dead?
No, it's Steve. It sends a message though to the rest of the commanders. It's like if you lose to like a guy's like let's say a sophomore. Or a senior in American time, I guess. A senior in a pirate game. You don't deserve to be part of the crew. You die.
I see where you're going, Nikki, but that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's the worst kind of message to try to send, bro.
But Big Mom,
it's not like them niggas going out trying to lose anyway. They trying to win.
No,
they're in death matches.
Yes, true, but
they're gonna die if they lose anyway. So why so you don't send the message by saying, okay, if you lose, you die. Because chances are you're gonna die if you lose in the fight anyway.
No, but it's who you lose to though. That's what I'm saying. Like
that's what doesn't matter.
So then wouldn't Cracker?
It's called foolish pride.
Wouldn't Cracker be dead?
You're just gonna assume that Big Mom's this illogical ball of fury suddenly just because we just met her in the story. She's been running the organization for over 40 years, bro.
And she killed
Moscato. So like, yeah, I mean,
she killed Moscato in a fit of rage.
And she could have done the same thing with Snack.
Okay, well, that's a whole different situation. That's not a punishment.
And the thing is that we haven't even seen Cracker since then.
Y'all are saying she killed Snack because as punishment. She didn't kill Moscato as a punishment. That was in a fit of rage.
I don't think you can compare that because the thing is that.
You cut out.
Hello, Mariah?
Yeah, you cut out.
Oh my god.
Are you?
You're late.
You cut out, Mariah. You cut out.
Yeah, you cut out.
Are you hearing me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, what I said is, I don't think she would do that to her commanders because her commanders are like the strongest people in her group. And if she would do that, that means that every time they lose, she has to find somebody else to replace them. That would be crazy.
No, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you're losing to someone who's been in the New World for like 2 years, essentially. They've been a pirate maybe longer, but 2 years in the New World, and you lose to someone. It's like you've got to do something. You got to send a message. Like you can't lose to people like this. If you lose to an admiral or vice admiral who's super strong,
but Snack also lose to Rouge, and Rouge is way stronger.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
It's way older. That's what I'm trying to say. You know.
But I don't think. But how long you've been a pirate matters though, because essentially, Rouge's name didn't really rang out until he was part of the worst generation, right?
Yeah.
And then once he became part of the worst generation, he's only been there for 2 years. But all the other Yonko just think they're nothing anyway. Still, they heard their names. But if you're not losing to big people in the New World, like say, I'm sure there's other big pirates are not part of Yonko crews. It's like it's mad. It's mad. It's huh?
I said surely.
Yeah, it's just mad. It's mad disrespectful to your name as well. It's like this guy's been in New York for 2 years and he's really taken out one of my commanders.
Yeah,
that commander doesn't deserve to be on the crew anymore. Like, no.
And the only thing I can say too is like, okay, let's say I'm looking from the perspective like I'm Blackbeard. I find out news that Snack just got defeated, one of Big Mom's like 4 sweet generals and stuff, right? For me, it's like, well, if that guy is able to be defeated, I mean, that makes like to me, it's like it makes it easier for one of our crews and stuff to go and jump her, considering there's a vulnerability, basically, and to like that's the only way I could see it from somebody else who's going to go and attack her afterwards. Because they see, well, if one of her top guys are gone, that it makes the crew as a whole vulnerable because of the loss of a person, whether it be because of Rouge beat him or whether it be like Big Mom ends up killing him. But then again, like you said, I mean, it could make sense. Like the fit of rage is the only way I could see, you know, Snack being killed. But the fact that we haven't seen for this long, like, why is that the case?
It's like, okay, here's a good example. Sorry to interrupt, Laz. Here's a good example. The Moria situation. Yeah. Essentially, Moria fucked up in Marineford, and they're like, "You're not strong enough to be part of the Shibukai. That's it. You're done." That's how they go about it. It's just like if you can't win, you're out. Especially to the opponents you're losing to. Like the Moria thing is like everyone can understand. It's like Moria lost to Luffy, and then the Marineford, he was just looking like a novice because of Jinbei just using all the saltwater fucking jutsu all over him.
Somebody's alarm clock is going off.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm sure we're about to get into negatives as well. So I just want to say one more positive. Finding out about the Vin Smokes cloning technology was really interesting. Actually, I did enjoy that. That was pretty cool. That was cool.
I still keep saying that it has to do with the Star Wars thing.
Yeah. But I don't know how that's gonna happen now, Maras. That's the thing. I don't know. Like during the wedding, I was like,
Order 66.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm actually catching up right now to Star Wars, believe it or not.
I don't want to spoil that.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I've been spoiled already on films 4 and 5. I think it is like, I mean, as a kid, like they spoil the show with Toy Story, but like the Order 66, I've heard like what like the name. I don't know what the incident is, but
it's a big thing. I won't say it. Okay. But yeah, no, I could see. I don't know if I can see. I don't want to. I don't want to say it. I'll just say pacifistas. And anyone that knows what it is will maybe understand what I'm saying. That's all.
Yeah,
no, don't say it.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm saying
that. Yeah, that's all you say.
All right. But this one more thing to say, guys. Is there any more positives we have about the arc before we get to like negatives?
Oh yeah, for sure. About CP9 got infiltrated everywhere because they infiltrated also like into the underworld.
CP0, yeah.
CP0, sorry.
Yeah, that's really good thing.
Yeah, like Morgan seeing like the other people there as well and stuff, and just like the Stuzy reveal. I can't lie, that was probably one of the most hyped things. It's like we were not expecting like anyone because it's like Yonko's Island, right? Like if we were to compare it to like with Wano, how like no Marines are able to get in. The fact that one of the highest agents, like a part of that group is like on the island, and I assume like Stuzy's not the only one that's on the island. There's got to be like one more person that's what they're, because like if she's on her own, Like that speaks volumes though of how crazy CP0 is, because like we assume that's gonna be like the Ennie's lobby fight for the Straw Hats like down the line, you know?
All right.
And just to point out as well, Jalen Carlisle in the comments in the chat has made a good point as well. The Vince Smokes raid suits they are pretty cool. I'll give them that, but it's just the fact that they rely on them so much is kind of embarrassing. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we go into the negatives then. Or then, sorry, my bad. DJK, you're saying?
Oh no, I mean the only thing for positives, I mean I think one of my favorite ones is just the fact that we go into a Yonko arc and see a Yonko and like see at least a shred of the power, but like slightly negative was the whole Smoothie just sitting on a fucking chair as a bartender. I didn't really like that, but no, I just thought it was cool that at least we get to see Yonkos. Like in other series, there are times where we don't see something we really want to see ever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's cool.
Definitely.
And I'll say, I've got like one more. I'd say, and it goes everywhere. I would say Pedro. Pedro's a fucking massive positive, man. Like, whatever, if he's alive or dead or whatever, I still think what he's done in this arc was really impressive. Even his fight with
Tamago.
Yeah, sorry, I keep blanking on fucking names, but yeah, like his fight with Tamago, even like that was really like pretty cool and everything. And finding out what his backstory, holy shit. His backstory was insane. Like that just gave me mad respect. Like he took his own eyeball out, guys.
Yeah.
His own eyeball.
Zeppo.
Yeah, it was like.
Yeah.
Like my thing is, like, if he is alive and stuff, then like the moment I felt when he died, and especially like Jinbei's speech and stuff to them, like how they have to like keep on going no matter what happens with death and stuff. It's like, Oda, like you can't be telling me all this shit and then pulling back and like not killing people, man. Like, of significance. So
Bon Clay, man. After I found out Bon Clay was alive, that's how I felt. I was like, oh, what?
I was happy with that because like I didn't want Bon Chan to like just be taken out of the story. Like he's awesome.
No, but it kind of ruined his sacrifice because everyone, how everyone. I literally felt the same when everyone was on the ship and then the gates are closed and everyone's crying when they're talking to Bon Clay. I was feeling that. I was like, oh no! And then you find out he's alive later. You're just like, oh.
I mean, like, how many scenarios we've seen, like, even especially, like, let's go, like, Ennie's lobby, like I was talking about before, but, like, with the fight with Lucci and Luffy and stuff, like, there were a lot of positive, I mean, of course, he's the main character he's going to go through, but, like, if you were to take all that out and you have those two fight it out, you would be kind of afraid for Luffy's life, considering, like, he had to push himself to, like, the extreme of extremes to get by Lucci.
Yeah, true. That's true. But still, I just don't know, man. There's so, that's... Anyway, just to say that's a positive as well. So are we all our positives, guys, or got any more left?
I mean, I think we could find some more. Like I got one. Supernovas. You got supernova hype.
Oh yeah, Capone. Yeah, Capone.
I want to talk on that. Yeah, Capone. Honestly, like, just Capone in general. Like, I think honestly, like, we talk about MVPs in this arc and stuff, but I think as like a second half runner up and stuff, like Capone easily takes that for me. I think like him just coming into the story and just being a part of like the whole alliance and everything, I think it's just made that this arc more enjoyable in a sense of like we were looking like into like a Disney kind of feel with like all the flowers, all the animated kind of stuff seen going around, and then we have that mafia grind being kind of implicated with the fact that like we got to see with Capone, we got to see more of his crew. I mean, we got to see his ugly ass kid, who I think is probably going to be catching a dirt nap soon. But the fact of the matter is, Capone's crew is
Lads, he's savage.
I'm sorry, man. That is the ugliest kid I've ever seen in my life, man. Chiffon should be disappointed in herself for that. But that's just my opinion.
Wow, Lance, you can't say that.
So, it has to be said, man. That's my negative.
But I don't know. I feel the opposite because I feel like when I rethink about Capone, I'm like, he didn't really do much. Essentially, like they banded up together, and then his plan failed, and he just ducked out. That was it.
Tank man, or fucking what was it called? The castle mode saved it.
Yeah, that was cool, but at the same, Big Father,
Big Father.
OP.
Okay,
I mean,
Big Father.
He did a job of defending them and stuff when he had to. Because remember, like Big Mom was like climbing on top of him and stuff, and just throwing like hate makers and stuff. Like any other guy, I think would have been already dead upon the first two like hits. And this guy took like what 7-8 punches of like probably her strongest attacks.
She tried to King Kong him. She started jumping on top of him. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, and she was going with the intent to kill. So like the fact that he's still alive after all of this, like that is impressive. And I'm like,
more than Luffy.
Yeah, I mean, and then especially like the way like I've always been in the mindset he's set up to be more of a defensive fighter, more he is on the offense. Even though like his fruit does allow him to have kind of a diverse offense with like how we saw like the openings with like the cannon fire and stuff in his castle. Like,
But I feel like he
he's
should.
impressive.
But don't you feel like Capone should have killed someone at the wedding? Like I feel he should have at least killed one of the big vampires. Honestly, like because then I would have felt better about it because he's got all this mafioso vibe. We found out a bit about his backstory, a bit about how like what he was doing back in the police.
They did with Bobbin.
Oh, Bobbin.
Yeah, that indirectly, they indirectly did, yeah. Well, I mean, he indirectly himself, his crew did.
But Bobbins is still iffy though. But you know, what I mean, I get what you're saying, yeah. But I feel like it should have been someone at the wedding. It would have felt more like, yo, this guy is serious.
So he killed like, let's say like Oven or Daifuku or something like.
Yeah, like he just blew them away. He's like, whoa, shit, and then that would have been sick. Yeah. And then he left.
Because I was hoping like with him or even with like Gotti and stuff. Like we saw like a moment like kind of like with a Lucky Roo, how he just like jumps in and just like shoots the guy in the head. Like it would have been cool to see something like that where like you wouldn't even expect like one of these guys to show up and then like all of a sudden someone's dead.
I feel like something that could work as a negative and a positive for the arc is the hype. Like there's a lot of hype moments throughout the arc, but at the same time, Oda didn't really live up to the hype that he was putting out.
True.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I can say about this arc, it was not predictable. It was fucking not predictable at all. I didn't know what's gonna happen next at all.
Yeah.
So
I have no idea what's gonna happen because we didn't even say the cake cannot even be made because like Sanji's probably gonna be funny. The only thing we can say that probably is like for certain because of the time limit stuff. Now we can kind of say like Sanji's probably gonna end up fighting the Big Mom pirates or like somebody that's there because like even though I know they're trying to build a cake for Big Mom, but like considering like their enemies and stuff, and Big Mom's gonna be like, oh, we need to kill them and everything. Like Sanji's probably gonna be fighting like Smoothie or maybe even like Daifuku and them and stuff to kind of like. Protect the cake in the time that's gonna take Luffy to get out of like the mirror world to get back to them.
Yeah, and I'll put another point as well. Luffy essentially just trapping himself in the mirror world with Katakuri and an enraged army. That was pretty epic.
It was.
I was like, wow. Okay, Luffy's serious about like.
Yeah, that was a hype moment, but it still remains to be seen whether or not it's actually going to deliver anything.
Yeah, but I gotta say a positive one's a positive. There's too many negatives in this arc.
Yeah, because the only thing is with that, like he has to come out on top only for the fact of like if he loses here, and then it's like we're supposed to like after this, like he's captured. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna go back to the same scenario we were when the Enraged Army took him, and this time Katakuri's the one that's gonna take him, and then it's like, well, what do we do from here? If he loses this fight, the story is GG, unless like some unforeseen actions happen, like someone comes in and interferes.
But okay, I'll just throw this out there. Essentially, this is what I probably think is gonna happen. He's not gonna beat Katakuri, but once Katakuri finds out that Sanji's baking a cake to stop Big Mom, and if and I think Katakuri, to be honest, is kind of a good guy. He's just the Big Mom pirate. Yeah. Essentially, might let the Straw Hats go and just say just fuck off, basically. Yeah.
I mean, it's compensation, for like say like keeping Big Mom like from going nuts because like they're valuing their safety and stuff, which matters the most. And again, like the whole mission for the Straw Hats was get Sanji, get the fuck out of there, and like if they do that, that's fine. Like that's the whole object. Like they're not supposed to go there and start up a fight. Yeah. The fact that they're doing this, it's already like a bonuses and stuff, but
that's true. And any last positive now? So I feel like we should get to the negatives.
Did we talk about
so many positives?
How there's a multitude of MVP caliber players in this arc?
Yeah, we mentioned. We mentioned.
I know we mentioned it in passing. I know Last said that Capone could be an MVP of the arc, but I don't think we actually talked about what the different characters who are candidates for that have actually done.
Okay, well, my opinion, Brooks number one.
Katakuri. I think Katakuri's got to be up there too.
See, I wasn't even thinking about the antagonist. I was just thinking about Straw Hats, but that's true. Katakuri could be an MVP.
Yeah, Katakuri, I would say like putting. I have to put her in that consideration. I would because considering like what she. I mean, I'm putting her considering like
that's the feat. Like
she was a pretty big deal, I guess.
Yeah, like. And like I mean, like her moments are pretty awesome though. Like even like her, like showing like she hated like Sanji or whatever, like the whole speech and stuff. Come on, that was beautiful.
But all her moments are like kind of bullshit. Yeah, like all her moments are kind of bullshit. Like the fact that she shot Reiju, I still don't like. Even though I predicted that shit, by the way, but I still thought that was bullshit at the same time. And the fact that she tried to kill Sanji, and obviously happily she didn't do it. Well, she's kind of a failure at everything, to be honest. And she's a shit character. I just don't like Pudding anyway, so I'm biased.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, like the fact that we're seeing too, like with I was just seeing the chat right now, like about like how Yonko Commander is supposed to beat the shit out of like in a base form Luffy. Like, I mean, that is expected because we haven't seen Luffy go into Gear 4 yet. But it's like again the foresight thing, man. If we actually see like, because I don't expect him even in Gear 4 unless like there's a different type of mode. That's the only way I can see it playing an advantage, like him defeating Katakuri. But aside from that, like the other MVPs, I mean, like Katakuri, Pudding, I could see
Pedro.
like.
You gotta put Pedro there.
Pedro would be in the like the consider. I would consider him. I don't know if I put him like in the top 3 or top 5 even. But like he's.
Who would you put above Pedro besides Brooke?
I think Pedro should be in consideration.
I mean, he's consideration for voting definitely, but I think like if we're gonna count all the characters in Whole Cake Island, I think I have a few more that probably like I would put over him. Like,
but
I would say
I don't know.
Brooke, of course, Jinbei for sure, Nami, and a lot of people overlook Chopper. A lot of people overlook Chopper as MVP.
Even Sanji to an extent.
No, I can't give it. Sanji's my favorite captain. I can't even give him that respect. Nah.
Even Luffy.
Luffy kind of, but it's like Luffy's essentially been helped by Nami.
He has so many dumb moments.
Yeah. So it's like that's kind of hard to say. Like maybe this last few chapters, then you can give him a bit of MVP consideration. But generally through the whole arc, nah, he's not with those guys, to be honest.
Okay, well, I mean, most of these other guys too in the second half, but like Sparrow.
I really like Pero, but I don't know.
No,
I don't know if I say MVP. I think he showed up too late. Like he started putting in work too late, in my opinion.
Well, he just started putting work in the wedding. If he killed Reiju then, that would have been fucking epic.
Why you want her to die so bad, bro?
No, because it would have been such great progression, though. Don't you think that remember that last panel of the chapter? There was that chapter when all the Vince smokes got frozen by Candy, and essentially Sparrow had a gun to Reiju's head, and Sanji's like running towards. Like, if for a minute there, I know everybody in the whole One Piece community felt it. They're like, "Oh shit, she's gonna die." Yeah. That would have been.
I'm gonna say this too, though. If Sanji bakes the cake and it works out with Big Mom and stuff, then yeah, I would put him in consideration. Like how we would with the cake, you can't.
No, because this has been like this is going into negatives, but this has been like the worst arc for Sanji ever. It's been so shit.
Yeah, for his character.
Besides his backstory, just yeah. Oh. You don't know how much that hurts for me to say as well. Like, it saddens me to say that shit, but it's just.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think it's a good backstory. It's a good development of Sanji, because Sanji was always like the womanizer, and we always saw him like the funny guy, only going after the women and stuff like that.
But he was a tactician as well, though, and he always believed in.
Yeah, true. But you have to think about as well. You know, the thing is. You see more and more like the emotional developments of characters, and I think that's a big progression in the storytelling of Oda as well.
Yeah, and I get that point. The emotional stuff I liked, like when he was when he's basically hitting rock bottom, like he didn't know what to do about essentially trying to save the crew, but he had to give up his happiness, and then find out Pudding hated him anyway. All that stuff was really good, but ever since then, it's just been shy. Just shy. Like, it's just been so shy.
Yeah, I can't. Well, maybe I am one of the few person that actually like this whole arc, because how I see it is just so many stuff that Oda is introducing at the moment, and he's doing character building, world development building, like a lot of stuff he's doing in this arc that we're gonna see, what already told, in the future. And that takes time, but he has to do it in some way, somehow. So how he did it now, a lot of people don't like it. But I think in the end, when you think about how he did it now, you're going to understand it when he's doing it at the end.
But it's just made Sanji such a wimpy character. Like, it's just It's hard to have like. He's still my favorite character, barely, but it's like, oh, Sanji, the Sanji I knew back at Enos Lobby, he would be falling for this kind of shit. He'd believe in Luffy. He'd be doing like the walk over, like walk that they did to CP9. He'd be doing what he could. But this Sanji, like, I get to the point when he was broken, but once he got with Luffy and stuff, he should have been able to like. He didn't do anything of no, nothing. The one cool panel he had was just breaking the candy when all the Vince smokes was. That was the last cool panel he had. Everything else is just shut.
Are we getting into the negatives yet?
I mean,
Well, yeah, we're pretty much there. I'm just ranting about Sanji. It's just like, oh.
Well, no, I want to just one thing I want to talk about is Luffy's progression, like in being a captain as well as being like his power as well, because his durability is getting better. If you compare it to what we saw in Dressrosa, that's only like 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago in the story. And he can he can do even better now with his gear forward stuff, and he's developing in his IDs and stuff like that. So you see the progression in Luffy overall as a captain, as in fighting capabilities. I think is a massive plus point in this arc.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Like we mentioned it, yeah, but. Okay, I feel like, is there any more positives really now? Because I feel like I'm more positively out.
Yeah, I mean, like if anyone else in the chat wants to throw in their positives and stuff, like you can do that. And if you're watching the stream afterwards, like when it's uploaded on the channel, just leave it in the comment section below, and we'll get to it.
I just thought about something. Some guy asked a question. It was actually a pretty good question too, but I want to ask it, but then I'm like, nah, because it might, like, we could literally go on like a 30-minute tangent just by this one question.
No, let's do it.
What do you think would have happened if it was Aokiji that would have punched Ace instead of Akainu?
I mean, personally, that's something we should probably save in the comments or something, just because I feel like we're talking Whole Cake Island and like that's the thing.
Okay, that's a really good question though. Ooh.
I mean, like we can keep it short. Like I don't think like it's too crazy. I just think it'd be a game changer in terms of like Aokiji was almost a good guy. I mean, he is a good guy, but he had like a lot of relationships with like these for the most part. So I think
you're using a lot of key words, Chris, for this to be short, bro. You said game changer. You said good guy, relationships.
I guess it changes our aspect of how we look at him and stuff. Like he went from being like this lazy dude who just wants to grope on Nami's chest to going on and like pulling this kind of shit, you know?
Well, I think we forget what he did to one of his best friends, Jago D Soul. He did freeze the guy to death, you know that, right? So it's like if he killed Ace, I wouldn't be surprised. I would just be like, oh shit. But at the same time, I'd be like, what are you gonna do? Admiral is supposed to protect Marine for like that.
I mean, like Garp let him die, so like I don't think Aokiji wouldn't do it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think I think it would be definitely. I think Garp might fuck up Aokiji though. That'd have been hard. That would have been woo.
Yeah, especially since he like Aokiji really liked them and stuff. Like, how do you like? I wouldn't say they're like a sensei and student, but like they have that close of a bond. So imagine like for Garp, bro, that would sting him way more than it would Akainu.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. So are we on to negatives now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This arc, there's just so many plot holes. Ridiculous amount of plot holes, man.
Hold on. One last question, Nikki. Have you finally understood why the whole Sanji kindness angle is terrible?
Oh, it's not terrible. Okay, let's rest this debate, right? The two people who said Sanji's kind.
I don't want to get into it, Nikki. I just want a yes or no answer.
You mentioned this, right? The
Nikki,
two people that said Sanji's kind were Brook and Reiju, yes? I'm just is that true or not? Is that true?
No, it's not true.
What? Reiju and Brook didn't call Sanji kind?
Luffy said it as well.
Well, but he said it in a different way, but he didn't say like the emphasis those two did, right? Those two like gassed him up about that. He's the kindest man in the world.
That's basically the same thing Luffy said. He says, well, that's just the kind of guy that you are.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy you are. That's different than saying he's the kindest man in the world.
Okay.
But
I think that's what the people call semantics. Is that Is that what that is?
Well, I like gymnastics as well, so whatever. I'll jump over the semantics. So the point I'll try to make is, look, the people who said it essentially have all seen what Sanji's willing to do. Like Reiju saw how kind he was just to forgive the family after all they've done to save them. The other one is Brook, who literally saw Sanji give up his life for the crew almost. Like he saw with his own eyes, him and like Sanji and Zoro are willing to just give up their heads to save Luffy and the rest of the crew. So when they said that, I understood what they meant. It wasn't like the rest of the crew. Like you only hear, I don't think you'd hear Chopper saying that or anyone else. Like Jen from the crew. It's just the characters they picked are the ones that just essentially that force. They've seen Sanji in his weakest moments, willing to give everything for the crew. Like he could have backstabbed them, but he didn't.
Sanji's not a kind guy.
Obviously, he's not the kindest in the world, but from their perspective, from what they've seen, yes.
Their perspective is ass.
All right, sorry, I gotta interrupt, but I have to go.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. See you later, Maras.
All right, later, guys.
Please.
See ya.
And for the people that are in the stream, don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, no, he's
That's true. And don't forget as well, Jinbei and Reiju are gonna die, people.
have a good time, Maras.
Right.
Yes, thank you. Fuck you, Nikki. Bye bye.
Fuck you. See you later. Fuck you. Bye bye.
He's gone.
All right. Anyway,
on the negatives.
We on the negatives. So, what are the negatives? Damn, I can't think of anything.
I just didn't like how Sanji didn't. I mean, I don't want to go back to that, but Sanji didn't really do anything, and like Judge didn't really do anything.
The handcuffs.
Yeah, I feel like it's a few nitpicks and things that might be big issues. But the handcuff situation, I feel like the reason why it was so bad to me is that it was built up to be this big plot point. It was like, how are we going to get the cuffs off? How are we going to do it? We got to get the keys from Big Mom herself. These are the same technology used by the Celestial Dragons for their slave collars. Oh my, this got to be a big issue. And then suddenly Reiju is just like, oh, we were trolling about the cuffs.
Yeah.
It just didn't turn out the way that I thought. And I guess the community as a whole didn't think it would turn out. I guess it's subjective, but at the same time, it's just it's bad. It's just bad.
I mean, the only thing that I can think of honestly about this entire thing is like, let's say for example, putting like she with the handcuff situation, right? Like she manipulated the mind of like Reiju. So Reiju's like saying, "Oh no, the handcuffs are like they're fine," but like in actuality, no, they're still gonna explode. The only thing is, it's like, you know, whoever has the device and stuff to allow them to explode. Wouldn't we already been through a situation like could they have gone off already by this point? Especially what we're seeing Sanji now, like on his own and everything. Like, you think someone would have already pressed like the button to cause the explosion?
Maybe.
Yeah, if we're looking for, like, let's say Big Mom's crew and stuff, like if they're the ones who have possession of that device, there was a good chance that like they would have set it off. Like either way, the device itself should have been present to keep that threat of like the handcuffs. But then afterwards, when you see that going to play with like Reiju saying, "Oh, they're good, like, they're fine" and stuff. Like, I don't know. And then it's like we see with Pudding's character afterwards, where she's like kind of like a tweener and stuff, where she's in between good and evil. It's kind of like, well, we don't even know now. It's like it could happen though. Like, they could still be real to an extent, and like whoever has the device, like, they got to try and take out that person so it doesn't explode. So I don't know. Wait, let me see if anything else in the chat and stuff. I don't know what the hell happened to Nikki. Nikki died and like.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Nikki to come back. I guess I saw him rejoin, but I don't know.
Yeah.
What would you guys have liked to see? I guess if you could have like changed it slightly.
I would like for Sanji to get some more shine. I didn't like the way that he was like basically just a sad sack of shit throughout a good portion of the arc. Portion of the arc, he was just he just a shell of himself. I didn't like that. I felt like I really thought at some point we were going to get Mr. Prince, but that never really happened. We just got Sanji going through the motions and trying to figure things out on his own, trying to be I don't want to say selfish, because he wasn't being selfish. He was just trying to do what he thought was best for the crew, which turned out to not be the best thing for the crew. And so it wasn't Sanji to me, but at the same time, it's forgivable because he was going through some stuff. So I guess him not being on his best A game when it comes to the mental aspect of his character is cool. And I know people like to talk about how this arc wasn't supposed to be like a fight arc or whatever people say. But the thing is, we actually got fights. They were just off screen. Like I just want to see these fights. I just want to see them. So when people say that, I really don't understand what they're talking about because it's been fights in art. We just didn't see them. So, and basically what I'm trying to get to by saying that is that the Yonji versus Sanji thing. I really wanted to see that.
Yeah.
I feel like Judge.
Before you get into it, just really quick to say, because with Nikki, like his situation's like, if the stream does go off by accident, we're gonna just do the the outro thing real quick, and then we'll just subscribe, like the stream if you guys enjoyed, and then just curious talk until Nikki can come back. But if not, the stream goes off, then we'll catch you in the comments. So
hopefully Nikki comes back.
Yeah, continue.
Well, can any of us sign into the account? Can any of us do that?
If maybe I can sign to it.
Will it let us do that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Well, just in case, Outer Haven.
Disperse. Now continue.
Oh,
yeah. Well, Judge versus Sanji, I feel like that could have been a bit better, but I can understand why Sanji didn't go all out at that point. I guess not really because he doesn't like Judge. He didn't have any reason to hold back.
Well, yeah.
And if Judge was holding back, which I assume he was, there's really no reason for that either. It just seems like Oda just doesn't want to show us what these characters are actually capable of, because he feels like he won't be able to top it when it comes time for them to fight it at any other time. So he's all about big showcase, I guess, which I don't like. I feel like if these characters are going to fight in a situation where they should be going at it with no holds barred, then just let it be that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just don't like when either things are getting off screen, because then especially us in the community talk about it, and it's like, oh, but I think this happened. It always ends up in you can't really say this or that because we didn't see it. And it sucks, I think, because that's
always
the point of enjoying the story is not just fights, but knowing what actually happened in the story.
A huge amount of cancer ensues whenever something is off screen, especially when the events leading up to the off screen are very ambiguous.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I'm back now.
That's cool.
Okay,
as long as you come back.
Yeah. Oh, so where are we now? Are we just
I'm just talking about what would you have wanted to basically swap out in the story?
Oh, okay.
What would have happened that didn't happen, or what was a big thing that was why?
Katakuri not having the foresight ability, honestly, I feel like that's really too broken, man.
It's the only reason I really like that. That's just fanboy Shanks Shanboy.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that implies that there's more to Haki than what we've been given prior. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I don't want to say me taking it away and stuff, but I have something where later down the line and stuff. So one of the Straw Hats could eventually end up learning something. So it's not I wouldn't say learn it, but they can eventually train that form of Haki to an extent where they could see someone into a little bit in the future. And the only characters I could see that being happening for them is either Usopp or Sanji since they're going to be the ones most likely to be masters of observation Haki. The only other one I can see from that is probably Nami. Just from looking at from Usopp and Nami's perspective, they're more the long range fighters, and then Sanji's gonna be up and close, so he's gonna need that observation.
Sorry.
Yeah,
but I think having characters more diverse in the story and having these increased powers, I think it should happen. I'm not gonna be surprised if Usopp or Sanji gets that, and then if Zoro gets a specific one, because I feel like Kobe's gonna have one, because we see with Aizawa and Skypiea, she had one. So I feel like they've kind of been implied that they're there in the story, but it's just we haven't fully seen it yet.
Yeah. I don't know too, and then especially when you go with characters like Robin and stuff too. I feel like she's gonna be more of a master when it comes to Bushoku Haki, and especially with her Devil Fruit, if she can incorporate that into it, that's pretty crazy.
Right.
Like she'd be killing like any Logias that like trying to get to her, like, especially with her fruit, like they'll be assassinated on the spot.
That's
So,
true.
yeah.
Like the thing
Yeah,
about
'cause-
Robin is weird as well. Essentially, she can really murder like tons of people at once if she just learns Haki. Like just, but I don't know what's up with her, man. She's gotta learn. But one thing I would swap out is actually there's a few things, but I really think that Perospero should have killed Reiju on that table. It would have been more impactful. I'm just saying because there's been no significant deaths in this arc.
Right.
Pedro.
I know, but we don't
Pedro
know.
could
Like,
be,
that's
but
still
like,
up in the air.
but something like not off screen. I mean, I can't say off screen because then it's like we saw like the explosion happen, but like actually seeing a corpse, basically.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, like
if we don't see a corpse, I don't believe in it. Like the person's dead.
After Alabaster, yeah.
The thing is, I don't think there was a corpse.
No.
For Pedro?
Yeah, I think he just.
I think he's alive. I don't want to say it, but
yeah,
I think he's just a bunch of giblets right now.
Giblets.
Like I would almost want it to be where he's dead, but like I don't know. Like if he's dead, that's like, I mean, either way I think so, but like Carrot is in the crew already in my mind.
Yeah, she is.
The whole like passing the dream and will onto her.
Yeah, like if she's like her role most likely is gonna be like the lookout pretty much of the crew.
Yeah.
Like even though I know it makes sense for Pedro, like he likes climbing and stuff, but imagine like you have Usopp and her working as like the actual like lookout crew. So you have one that's gonna be looking for like what's going on, and then like the precise shooting and like spotting out stuff and everything. Like Usopp be there, like that's a crazy combo. Like no one's coming near like the Sunny and stuff if you have those two up top.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, the whole Reiju thing annoys me because it's like Perospero just taking the piss so much. He should just killed them in it. Like he was talking so much to the Vince Smoke, saying how pathetic they are, and like look at the situation they're in. And it was just like you just at least shot one of them in the head. Like the thing is, Rage would have been more impactful because it's the one character that generally everyone likes. While the other Vince Smokes, everyone's a bit iffy about. Like essentially, people love Ichiji, Niji, Yonji's scrub, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Ichiji's still awesome to me, even though he got one shot by Katakuri.
But the only person who's kind of like even Reiju. I want to say she's awesome, but at the same time she got shot by Pudding, which pissed me off as well. Like that I would have changed. That's another thing I would have changed. Her getting shot by Pudding.
But then again, like she threw at Smoothie though.
Yeah.
She what? Yeah, that's
a kick at Smoothie.
That's cool. So that's what I'm saying. That was pretty cool. But what I'm saying is like before that stuff happened, she had so many L's. It's like by the time she got to like something else decent, it's like I'm not really invested in the Vince Smokes anymore. It doesn't matter.
I don't know. I mean, the only other thing too is like Luffy didn't get anything out of Reiju and stuff when like they were in the room alone. I mean, like she's down in your skinnies, bro. Like you're Monkey D, man. Like show your clout.
Hey man, he's saving that for Boa, man. Boa is his wifey.
Yeah, but you know what, man? Like when's that gonna happen, bro? Like especially if the system is gone and stuff. Akanu's gonna run a train on her.
Wow.
I mean, I'm looking from like the corruption of the government and stuff. That's how I'm looking at it. It's like how Steve was doing like with Arlong and the Nami situation. I mean, that makes sense.
What are you done, Steve?
I have to save face. I gotta save face.
Oh my god. And also Big Mom's backstory. I hated her fight. At 5 years old, she's just being adult giants. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a little crazy. Well, I mean, the only thing is like they're like the eldest of the eldest, but even then, yeah, like these guys are like warriors and shit still. Like, I don't know.
And like, did you see the rest of that village though? It's not like she just beat the oldest guy and I was there. She beat like 6 giants or some shit. That was just like what?
Yeah.
Like
she got on village, bro. She took on village vice admirals. That's how I see it.
Which is just insane. It's like what? Oh my god.
I don't know, bro. Like, cause I think the vice admiral giants that we saw, I think those are actually from like
the top tiers of that.
Yeah, they probably the stronger giants from one of the royal divisions of Elbaf. I know that's a little bit like headcanon territory, but it's implied that there are other sections of Elbaf where stronger giants may exist or whatever. So I'm just assuming that's where the vice admiral giants come from. But I don't think all those giants that she defeated were or quote unquote vice admiral level. And even if they were, not every vice admiral that we see is all that. So it's just my 2 cents on the situation.
Yeah, but I just don't. It just made no sense. Like it's just like ridiculous. How overpowered she should be king of the pirates. She should be king of the pirates by now. To be honest, that's what I think. If she's that strong already, like what the fuck? It's insane, man. I don't know, man. And another thing, like what's another thing, a glaring mistake they made? This oh yeah, Opera. What the fuck? What was he still doing on the island?
He's getting his goodies, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm out." He's like, "This mission
That,
failed."
that made no sense.
Yeah, he should have got out of there.
That made no logical sense. Because how are you gonna stay there? It made no. Oh my god. Like this. That's what I'm sorry. Yeah. To me, this is definitely the worst arc in One Piece. It's not much I can say this on. Okay, and the fact is Sanji not fighting anybody, like not really having any one-on-one fights. Like another one-on-one fight, I don't think of note anyway, because Luffy's got them all. Even Pedro got some of Tamago. Like, come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it was a lot of it was for the arc. It was just expectations, I guess, versus what we actually got delivered to us. Like there was someone in our comment section that like mentioned that we were like looking too deep into it and we should just be enjoying it. But I don't know. I just feel like you like. I don't know. Part of it, I think, too, is like the whole Wano thing. Like them hyping up Wano was kind of dumb to an extent because it's like then we get hyped up for it and we just want to skip past this arc and go right to it. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I blame Dolphy, man. When he started saying it's going to be the pirate king, it's going to be who's going to get the throne, some Game of Thrones shit. I was hyped. I was like, woo!
Yeah.
We're going to get this. Big Mom's going to be savage. People are going to be like, the crew's going to be in so much danger. Da, 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 da. But by the end, we're just like, we know it's going to end with Sanji baking a cake. Like, what? Really? Sanji baking a cake is going to end this arc. It's just, it's embarrassing, man.
Yeah. Anything else you guys really have?
I've got so many negatives. I could actually.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh. Yeah, this arc. I don't know. Like I'm like after rereading it, like I'm half and half. Like I still expected more, but it wasn't as bad as first going through. Like I think that backstory really kind of triggered me a little bit because like, damn, that was bad to me.
It was terrible, man. Like the one thing that was cool about the backstory is that she ate everybody, which was kind of funny.
That was kind of interesting.
That was kind of just like, oh, that's how she got the powers then. Okay. But in general, the backstory is like, so she was just a beast from day one. Like
Right.
what?
Like she didn't really need training or anything like that.
Exactly. Like and then the whole thing was Strusen as well, which is I don't know how I feel about that. Like you know. Oh man, it's a funny arc, man. I just don't know how I feel. Even stuff like the Vince smokes, how stupid they are. Like especially Judge. People we hyped up Judge badly. We're like Judge could be like Admiral level maybe, but I said like in between. He's definitely strong like Shibakai or something. He turned out to be a scrub. Oh my god.
I mean, the thing is, Judge he could still be strong. It's just that he got bodied by Big Mom. I mean, there's really he didn't really. Like we don't even know what his ceiling is because we don't know how strong that attack Big Mom used was against him or anything. It just looks really bad because he got one shot, but at the same time, that's a Yonko.
Yeah, that's true. That one, yeah, fair point. But when he had that fight with Sanji, and essentially he didn't do anything of note. He just used his men and his spear, and I was just like, okay, is that it really? Like, I'm not saying you should have gone all in and killed Sanji or something, but it would be nice to see him use an attack that Sanji couldn't block himself. Like Sanji just stopped his attack. Yeah, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I feel like I wanted to see more of that. Like I would like to if like when Luffy was pinned to the ground in the wedding, that like Sanji came and like I don't know, beat Daifuku or Oven. You know what I mean? like get something
Yeah.
nice like that. But I don't know. I guess that's just how I was hoping for.
And I think one of the worst things is the fact that he literally said, "We don't trust these pirates," and then he goes crying to Big Mom, "You've destroyed our dream for hundreds of years." Oh,
Well, I don't think those were his exact words. Like, we don't trust pirates.
Yeah, I am paraphrasing, but you
yeah,
know
what he was really saying is like he don't respect pirates. He doesn't like pirates. But
he said he doesn't trust them. He said he doesn't trust them.
I don't remember him saying he doesn't trust them.
Because they wanted to take Pudding and Sanji. That's why I don't trust the pirates. So
Right.
In the few times that I went back and read the arc, I don't remember him saying he doesn't trust pirates. But that could probably something he said. But.
I think he said specifically that he doesn't trust giving his kid away, which is why he got Sanji because of Big Mom. Like he didn't trust Big Mom specifically.
Yeah, like he even said he does not trust. He did say, I'm sure 100% he'd say he doesn't trust Big Mom. That's the thing. That's what it just makes him look so like the Vince must have been such a letdown. Like it's just like there's nothing they can do. It's like, okay, have you guys seen Star Wars?
Yeah.
The Force Awakens, yeah, both of you. Okay, you know when they hyped up Captain Phasma, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, Captain Phasma is a Sith." Okay, anyway, but before Star Wars: The Force Awakens came out, Captain Phasma was like the new Django Fett or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, everyone's like, oh my God, she's so sick. Look at the armor," and then she's basically a scrub in the movie. Doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about the Vince smokes. Like, what?
In the lore, she's OP, but
yeah,
no,
but
that's how I agree with you. Like they hyped up, like bro, he ruled the North Blue, where like X-Drake and them are from. Like what's stopping from X-Drake back then? Just say, "Oh, F it, I want to be the ruler of the world." Like you know what I mean, and then taking down Judge. That's how I saw it.
I feel like people hear that North Blue thing, and it's like, oh, he can't take over the North Blue, but we see a guy like Shanks chilling in the East Blue. Like we don't know what's happening in the North Blue, bro. There's nothing in the series suggesting that somebody in the Blues has to be weak.
Yeah.
Well,
we literally seen the exact opposite.
But it's just weird the fact that he's just such a scrub. Like, okay, this guy made a good point. Dom Hammer made a really good point saying Judge didn't fall from the Conqueror's Haki, which is the least he could do, Dom. The least he could do is not fall to the Conqueror's Haki. Okay, think about this guy. If he fell to the Conqueror's Haki and the rest of the kids were up, like the arc might be over for me. I'll be like, what? is this happening? Is this real life? Like, seriously? He fell from Conqueror's Haki? What?
This can't be life.
Oh my God.
Like, like I said, I think it's, for me at least, it's just I had more expectations in the story to like get something, and I guess we just didn't get it.
Yeah, it's just like, it's just because they've hyped up the new world so much, and this is our first like contact with a Yonko, and it hasn't. It's like nothing. They've been in danger, but it's like they haven't been in danger. Like, there's never been a moment I've really worried about the Straw Hats. Like the whole time. Obviously, they have plot hacks, but sometimes you still get that feeling like, oh my God, someone could die from a Straw Hats. You know what I mean?
You're right.
But I haven't got that feeling once in this arc. Not once. And the only time I got that was Sanji. I thought might commit suicide. I was like, oh, don't do this, Sanji, please. Like, don't commit suicide. Like, I know you're sad, but come on.
Yeah. I don't know. The whole issue that I have with the arc was just there was a bunch of things that seemed off from like Oda's writing compared to like what we got prior in like the verse. Like the whole Sanji thing, like what Steve said, like I know we talked about on that one stream where it's like, how is he a good guy? Like he lets people die.
Yeah.
I never understood that. Like never once in the story was he ever said to be a nice person. Like by
okay. Are we going for this argument? I've really clarified this though. Come on, man.
No, you haven't.
I said it's the two people who said it's only the two people who said it. Come on.
Brooke knows him.
Okay, hey Jalen.
And it wasn't just Brooke and Reiju. Luffy said it as well.
But
okay.
like yeah. Like
okay, I'm just I'm just gonna reply to the comments quickly. Sorry, guys. Okay, Dan, the wave's not life threatening because they had Jinbei and Nami on the crew. Like, I never felt like there was nothing. I feel like they're gonna get out of it, if you know what I mean. And Jalen, Luffy always gets his ass beat every fight. Generally, like he always that's how he wins. He gets beat down, and he comes back and he wins later, kind of thing. That's kind of been the whole formula. It's Shonen Jump basically. That's always what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, sorry to interrupt, guys. Yeah, you finish what you're saying. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I just feel like there was a bunch of shit that like it seemed really weird to me. Like it seemed like it almost wasn't his writing, I guess. But I don't know. That's how I see it.
Yeah, that's the yeah. I kind of maybe he was rushing it or something because the thing is we can all agree this arc had so much potential, like the devil fruits and Big Mom's powers, like the wedding, even the fact that some still had really great bits with CP0 and stuff like, but it never like all gelled together nicely. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know. It's a weird. It's okay. I still think there's nothing. This arc can't be redeemed. It's the worst arc in One Piece hands. And I'll debate anybody on that. Like, because I don't think there's never been an arc in One Piece with this many flaws in it. I don't think. Like honestly, even though people don't like Fishman Island or Dressrosa, they'll like certain elements, like the Tontados you didn't like maybe. But still, they played a vital role in the end, and part of the Straw Hat Fleet. At least it led to something. So many of the things in this arc have led to nothing. Like, makes no sense.
Yeah, I feel like they just almost made it where like Oda's building up everything else to go towards the Wano. Like,
yeah.
Like I feel like the advertising outside the story, shit like that, is evident. And the idea that they're trying to push this to be the next big thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's just, we could run on this arc for ages, to be honest.
Yeah,
I feel like it was just like a lot of build up coming into it, like with Judge, and it's like Big Mom with the Intel Network, and all the commanders of this, commanders of that, and it's a few points where I feel like, yeah, this is pretty hype. It's what I expected, but at the same time, like even with Katakuri right now, he's showing dominance, but at the same time, he also said that he was going to kill Luffy, but he's leaving him alive, and we all know why he's leaving him alive. But at the same time, you have to think of it from his perspective, from a story perspective. It doesn't make sense.
all right.
Like Katakuri doesn't know that Luffy's the main character, so why is he leaving him alive? Why hasn't he killed him yet? Even though he made it clear that that's his intention. Like the only way I can see it explained is if he wants to save Luffy for Big Mom or something, like because she might want to kill him personally.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can see it being explained. But other than that, I don't. He even said he wanted to do it personally, if I remember correctly. So it's just a lot of things that are set up in certain ways, but they don't really deliver.
Yeah, they don't pan out basically to how it should be or how it's displayed to be. That's my big issue.
Like Smoothie as well. Oh my god, Smoothie's just god,
so good. She's
so big dark spot in this art.
Yeah.
She started off so well, like her introduction. Yeah. Like, oh my god, it's Smoothie. Look at her. Oh my goodness, big Smoothie. Oh my god. We saw she had the sword on her back. You know, she got the long legs. Like, what's her fighting style going to be? She's juicing the woman. Oh, she can juice people. And it's like, oh, Brooke's not going to be affected by Big Mom or Smoothie. And then it's like, what? Because initially I'm like, nah, you niggas is crazy. You're doing too much. With just because he bony, don't mean he can't be juiced. He got fluids. Obviously, nigga can die. And then the Big Mom thing, like, he's not gonna be a hard counter for Big Mom, bro. Come on, chill. He might be able to do something. And like, I guess that's just fan perception. But back to the arc. Smoothie having so many moments where it seemed as if she was primed to do something in a great position to actually, you know, have some sort of shine and show why she holds her position, but she just stands there and doesn't do anything. She even opted to go in the in the opposite direction of action. Instead of taking action, she's just like, no, we're not going to do anything about it. We're just going to stand here and wait for things to pan out.
I'll never understand the Brook portion because there's only one door in that treasure room. So she would have had to see Pedro come in and then Brook come in.
I never understood that either, bro. Like, it must be some sort of secret passageway or something.
Yeah, nah, that's just retarded. It's just pure retardation. Yeah,
it's got to be, though, because think about when they were standing outside. It looked like they were looking through like a peephole or something. Like, it must have been something, which is ridiculous because why wouldn't they have that on lock?
Yeah,
if that's there.
I saw it as like because we see Brook put his like little shadow, or not shadow,
his soul,
right through it, and that's how they knew what was going on. And the only other time we see anything is like when they're looking through. I know you're talking about the little gated portion up top where he saw Big Mom coming, but it's like it didn't look like you could really get through there. I mean, maybe you can, but I mean that'd be dumb. Like you said, like they'd have like two people sitting up there watching it.
Yeah.
It didn't really make sense to me.
Oh wait, I'm sure to respond to some comments as well. Jalen, the Fishman Island flashbacks. Yeah, you could say they were sort of boring, but essentially, if you when you reread the arc, you must not have a heart because everything to do with Fish and Tiger, man, I got emotional. I was emotional about that shit. So I think Fishman Islands is given too much hate, to be honest. I think that was a decent arc. And the point about why didn't the admirals kill his weak ass at Marineford? I get what you're saying, but the fact is, it's like the admirals had so much to deal with at that point with the Whitebeard. Essentially, like Luffy wasn't really what they needed to deal with at that point. So it's like everyone underestimated him. They had to deal with like what they had Marco, Marco, Jinbei, Whitebeard. Fucking Blackbeard appearing, like they have too much shit to deal with there, you know what I mean? So
right,
yeah, that's just
stuff like that. I don't get why you're like, dude, like it's weird too because like we get like the whole like interview right where we see like his booklets for the arc. So it's like why like if he's keeping track of everything, why isn't it like all of it set in stone? It's like, okay, yeah, I need to make sure that this person does this or this happens. Like I'm hoping that the whole Aladdin thing is a thing because when they looked underwater, right, and then in the submarine, and like a couple chapters ago, when they Brook and Chopper were like, oh, that's a mermaid / merman. Like I would assume maybe it's both. It's like we're seeing what's her name, Charlotte or not Charlie? What the fuck?
Hiroshi?
No.
Aladdin's wife.
Yeah. I can't think of her name for some reason. But yeah, her.
What
Aladdin's wife.
Praline?
Praline, yeah. Like I was saying, like I think that's who they were referencing as Praline and Aladdin because they said at first he thought it was a mermaid, and then he's like, oh, it's a mermaid. I'm hoping that's what it is, bro. Like I don't know. Like it could be. Like
I really don't think so. I feel like I don't think there's anything wrong with thinking that, but at the same time, people say it like it has to be 100% facts. But you also have to remember, Totland is supposed to be a place where all races are accepted. So why shouldn't there just be random mermaids and mermen swimming around?
It was kind of weird because it was like out of place, and the idea that like they were going somewhere. It's like, what would shock them? That like I don't know. Like you think
it's
they
just
would
the
be
timing.
aware of that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. It's just I just feel like it's weird that people just say, "Oh, well, 100%." When are people going to get that Oda doesn't do 100%? Like the only guarantee is that Luffy's going to be Pirate King. That's the way I see it.
No. I mean, and even that, you forget we got Blackbeard and Buggy out here.
Wow.
I mean, bro, I'm saying if people want something unique, you never know. This could be it.
Nah, let's get Buggy out of here. This little excerpt that I'm reading from Pedro, he says the situation has turned hopeless. They strengthened their security detail and made it impenetrable at the worst possible time. Like I don't understand why. Like this is what I'm talking about when the hype doesn't deliver. He's making it sound like that they're about to have to use their ultimate techniques, or Pedro's going to have to go invisible just to even get around or whatever. But this nigga just went marching into the hallway and started fodderizing everybody. And then Brook just snuck into the treasure room like it was nothing. I don't understand why is this little portion of dialogue even necessary? if it was so easy.
Yeah, I thought that was really dumb.
And then that was in relation to the reveal of Smoothie. Like that was when Brook told him that there's like Pedro's like there's more guards, and Brook said they called her Sweet Commander. He's like, Sweet Commander, that's one of their top brass. And as we can see, it did not pan out in that way at all.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing, one of the weirdest ones has to be with Caesar. Like the whole plot line of him having to get in his factory built and stuff. It's like he might have just been in jail. Like why just leave him in jail? Because they made it seem like something was gonna happen to him. He's gonna start trying to at least he might get killed by Big Mom or something, or he'd at least be trying to do the experiments on kids again to make people giants and stuff. But that went nowhere so quickly. Like
You talking about Caesar?
it's like. Yeah, it literally went nowhere ridiculously quick. I was like, what?
Like he
What was even the point of? Yeah, like what was the point of making the whole like he built a laboratory and stuff on candy and all that kind of thing? Just like, I guess it was to show off Sparrow's powers a bit, but still, it was like it literally had no payoff at all.
I think the thing is that they wanted she did have the intention of Caesar working in the laboratory, and maybe he was working in the laboratory, just that it was off screen, and whenever it came time for him to get his rest, they put him back into the cage, and that's when Capone freed him. That's probably how that happened. But I understand what you mean. There should have been some sort of payoff within the narrative.
Yeah.
Which there may still be.
Like,
it still remains to be seen. We don't know if he actually did anything or not.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like, and the thing that kind of annoys me as well that Caesar just left, because I'm one of the people for Caesar for Straw Hat personally. So
that's ridiculous.
Well, I kind of see why, but at the same time, they need someone like Caesar on a crew, he's a scientist.
They don't like Caesar. They hate him. They think he's the scum of the earth. They
didn't like Robin at some point.
They didn't have that much hate for Robin.
You talking about the Strats?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what was it? I think it was only Zoro and Usopp were like the only ones like weary.
Even then, it was just like she's a former enemy. We can't really trust her. But with Caesar, they hate Caesar as a human being. They cannot stand this man.
But they have they had the straw hat.
That's just Oda's writing, bro. That's just Oda's writing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He made jokes. He made jokes when we were trying to get Brook back from a Yonko, bro. Like he turned that into a joke. Come on now.
I get your point, but I'm saying like I still think there's a possibility he can become a straw hat at the end of the saga. Because even don't forget, Oda said 2 people that were enemies will join the Straw Hats.
That's already happened.
Hey, who?
Frankie and Robin.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I thought he said that after they joined.
No, that was before.
I don't know. I
That's really from a while back ago. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I remember because that's what I thought too, and then people kept saying it, and I was like, "Oh, what?" And then so I went all the way back, and that was before Robert joined. So
actually, yeah, that's a good point. Chopper's the one who actually Luffy really hates him as well, but
it's who
he is a mass. Caesar,
I mean,
but
dude, like he does, like Usopp went on the table and gave the whole speech about like you're the person that Luffy hates the most. I'm sorry, but if he joins, that'd be the dumbest thing ever possibly happen. It's like, oh yeah,
he has frenemies though. He has frenemies.
I mean, like I'd be fine with that. Like, bro, like I think he's joining Buggy's crew eventually down the line. Like, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
I could see him as some sort of ally or something, but not as a Straw Hat member.
Yeah, like no.
What if he does his penance? Like he turns, he gets all religious and becomes a Catholic and does his penance and says, "I'm sorry."
I feel like that would be more acceptable, but that's definitely not going to happen in this arc. It's going to take some time.
But essentially, he'd be so useful in Wano, though.
Of course he would, but he doesn't have to be a Straw Hat member for that.
Look, I'm just saying my dreams, man. I'm just saying that.
Your dreams have been crushed, Nikki.
It's not over. Yeah, Oda's done some left turns out of nowhere before. So.
It's over, Nikki.
That's true.
Sibo has the high ground. Nikki doesn't get it.
But yeah, no, I do. But see how that worked out for Dolphy? Hey.
He had the high ground and he lost.
How what were? Oh, he's talking about the high ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't have the high ground though.
Exactly.
Exactly. So I just kamikaze myself. Don't worry. Senpai, cool.
Yeah, but another thing I didn't like about this arc was while he was a bit of a bright spot, Capone in relation to the Big Mom Pirates. Why did they trust him so heavily? That
So true.
when you look at everything and how it was set up, it really it makes no sense to me how he has such trust amongst the Big Mom Pirates organization, knowing his reputation. Like if Jinbei knows what this man is known for, then why shouldn't Big Mom or whoever else in her organization know? Because even if you want to make the argument that Big Mom isn't the intelligent one in the organization who's keeping the intelligence network together, whoever it is in their organization should have been the one to tell Big Mom, hey, you should not make him head of security. Or whoever made that call should have known what he was, what Capone made his name from, which is backstabbing people and taking out organizations by eliminating the head. So giving him a position that makes that easier as head of security, it really makes no sense, bro. It really makes no sense at all. And not only then, not only is that his reputation, but he was only there for 2 years max. Max. He was there for 2 years max. I think it's a bit ridiculous for you to rely so heavily on a person that sure his talent speaks for itself, but at the same time, knowing his reputation and you don't even know him as well as somebody who's actually on your crew. Like look at Cracker or Peckham's. Peckham's could be considered a defensive specialist, knowing that his turtle shell is supposedly hard as diamond or whatever. Or Cracker, we know that he's a defensive specialist for sure because we actually saw him fight. We see the way that he fights. So either one of these people could have been head of security, but for some reason it's Capone, and I guess that's to further the plot. But at the same time, like I was saying earlier with the Katakuri situation, it has to be logical. It has to make sense within the borders of the story of One Piece. And
That's true.
Seeing as how I feel like we're going in circles at this point, but like this is how much I've been racking my brain over it since it first got revealed to us. It's just that he's not trustworthy at all. Like why on earth? It's like the Big Mom Pirates is another major gripe for me. They make so many mistakes and so many glaring issues with their organization that really it irks me because it brings forth the question, how have they managed to maintain throughout 50 plus years that they've been in existence.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It doesn't make sense why someone like Blackbeard or Whitebeard or someone wouldn't be able to just run in there and take them out.
Not even just going that far. How did they even manage to reach the level that they're at?
Yeah, I mean, it could. Part of it is probably because like the whole idea of, Big Mom being a threat herself, but as well as I guess there's not really that many, like quantity wise. There's better quality, I think, but not that much quantity of pirates and other like threats back in the day. I don't know. I mean, honestly, it doesn't. No, I know what you're saying. It literally doesn't make sense. Like, if Luffy can do it, what stops anyone else from doing it?
From a lore standpoint, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And another thing that really doesn't make sense is essentially the Straw Hats are still all in the same position again. Even Sanji, like, there's no way they can save Zeph. So they still got Zeph over their head. So, and the handcuff thing was just like that went nowhere real quick. Like what? So it's just weird, like how those two things got dropped so quickly. Because Zeph should still be in danger, right? Like
yeah, that doesn't make sense. It's but that is what it is. But I mean, I don't know. And like part of it is like, bro, it is for kids. You know what I mean? So like, I get that. Like, I'm not that dumb. Like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it is
kids. I think that's
teens.
Yeah, like because Oda said it's targeted towards 15-year-old boys,
right.
So I wouldn't say kids.
I mean, you know what I'm saying though.
Yeah. Like I mean I know why you said, and that's why I'm saying like 15-year-old boys they can handle people dying.
Yeah, it's not that. I'm just saying like the in-depth level of like what we're saying. That it's something that like we probably would have maybe said back in the day when we were first reading it.
Yeah,
I read To Kill a Mockingbird when I was 14.
Wait, let's see.
To Kill a Mockingbird. I read that when I was 14.
I mean, I'm not
Great
questioning
book.
your intellectual level. I'm just
No,
saying,
no, not me. I'm just saying, like in general, just I feel like the target audience for One Piece. I think they're able to handle deeper levels of storytelling. I don't think that's really a good excuse. Is basically what I'm saying. Like the target audience, I don't think that's a good excuse to just say, well, hey, well, this can't happen because of the people that's reading the story.
right? Did you read? I know Heaven's read it. I don't know whoever else read it, but it was the Monster Trio guy, one of our subs. He mentioned that he thought they would just look too much into this stuff. That's kind of where I brought it up.
But I get what he's saying. But older the last other arcs, he's like left off with so much. Like the way he did Gear 4, like if I'm correct, it was literally like half the it was literally the chapter that was half the amount of it. If you get what I'm saying.
All right.
Was that the first time we got introduced to like Gears? I think it was a Gear second or Gear third or something like that. So the way Oda planned stuff out is like he does in depth stuff though. That's the point. So
Yeah,
his
no, I mean,
writings,
that's why I think a lot of us
yeah.
read it. Is
Like so he like
wouldn't get otherwhere.
yeah, and the way he foreshadows stuff, like some stuff he just like I remember when like ages ago there was like one of the like just a color panel before the chapter actually begins. It was just a tiger and wearing a carrot hat or something like that, and it foreshadowed so easily about Pedro and Carrot. And it's like those kind of things that Oda does. It's just like he really thinks hard about One Piece. That's why we're just so let down by this whole arc, to be honest.
All right. As I say, that whole expectations versus delivery is partly there. Like if it's something that we have been expecting for a while and it's been hyped up, that's why like Guano, bro. I get worried sometimes because like, are we gonna get a redo of this?
Oh no,
I don't
no,
want to
no,
say so,
no.
but
That'd be horrible. But I don't think Oda's could do that for us.
yeah, hopefully not. We'll see.
Yeah, that can't happen. That can't happen.
That's how I feel too, but you never know.
Yeah. I think anyway, guys. I think we should probably because there's so much to say. Like, let's just wrap up our thoughts of like, what do you guys think's gonna? What would you like to happen? What do you think's gonna happen in the next?
Like I said, Aladdin. I want that to play out somehow. With Luffy escaping, dude, I honestly don't know.
The way I feel like it's gonna happen, I feel like Katakuri is gonna beat Luffy. It's gonna get to a point where they're fighting, and it's like Luffy might have the edge or something, and then Katakuri is gonna kick it up another notch and take him out, and then it's gonna be pretty ambiguous. It goes off screen. Then next time it comes back, it's gonna show Katakuri like climbing out of a mirror, and then we're wondering like, oh, where's Luffy? And then he opens up his chest cavity, and Luffy falls out, and he's like out of breath or whatever. And so basically he's gonna put Luffy inside of himself, and then basically what I was saying earlier about how he's saving the honor, I guess, the honor of killing Luffy for Big Mom. Yeah, so because that's the only way I see Luffy getting out of it. Because
Right.
I don't want any sort of random power ups or whatever. Because no matter how you put it, I feel like it would be random for him to just suddenly get stronger mid fight. I feel like that'll be very odd, especially considering that there's such a glaring difference in their power.
All right.
Because we saw how he messed up against Cracker. Even once he used his strongest form, he was still not able to gain any sort of ground. Like he was punching the Biscuit Soldiers, they didn't budge, or maybe they did budge. I can't remember. They were like standing there taking the hits. Like I guess they were switching out their shields, or constantly reforming shields or whatever. But basically, he wasn't able to touch Cracker. Only he managed. He needed Nami. He needed Nami. He needed that. That should be enough. He needed that nerf to defeat Cracker,
All right.
who's confirmed to be less of a combatant than Katakuri.
Yeah.
Don't tell Grim.
Well, I'd say what I'd like is like, to be honest, I'd like Sanji to like jump into the mirror instead of baking his fucking cake and fight with Luffy against Katakuri because that would like it would be more even, and I think that could go. It would just be good for both of them because Luffy is definitely exhausted, but he's still strong enough to fight him, and he'll still give Sanji some shine as well. And if need be, Jinbei can join in as well, and then Jinbei would sacrifice himself to get those two to safety, and then Katakuri kills Jinbei, and then Reiju dies some other way. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It's just this is a weird. I just don't want them to be baking a cake. But essentially, what I think is gonna happen is Katakuri is gonna kind of like I think what Steve was saying is right. But I do think Luffy will learn Awakening during the Mirror World fight. I think that's something I think that will happen. And essentially, I think he'll get one good hit in Katakuri, and either he might get pulled out of the mirror somehow. And then Katakuri tries to follow him, but they break it essentially. So that's the only way I can see Luffy getting that situation. But I feel like Luffy's gonna get one good hit in Katakuri, definitely. And then everything else, I have no idea to predict because I'm hoping just Jack appears, but I don't know.
Jack?
Yeah.
Wait, where did this come from? This is the first time I'm hearing this.
No, it's because when I was rereading the because I started literally from when I was rereading it. I started literally from when Jack's just under the ocean. It's like, when are these guys gonna pick me up? So I was thinking like, Jack has to like not fail this mission. So essentially, I'm just thinking he knows where they're going because there's still the traitor somewhere on Wano, not Wano, Zo. And my feeling the traitor was Pedro. So essentially, he's gonna follow Pedro, get there, sees that what's going on, and then somehow maybe Jack and Katakuri get into a fight. That would be awesome. But I don't know.
Wait, so he's going to Pedro because
to get revenge on the Straw Hats.
Wait, but so Pedro was the traitor, and he has Pedro's Vivi card, and he's going to meet up with Pedro, thinking that he's still fine.
Yeah.
If Pedro's dead, well, you don't think Pedro's dead, though. So
yeah, I don't think Pedro's dead, though. Yeah.
But how would he get through all that defense? I mean, like without anyone knowing, like, especially with how dumb they are, or well, seemingly how dumb they are. Like,
I mean, but it's pretty much been a theme. It's pretty much been a theme that around this time of year, not this time of year, because I think she has multiple weddings throughout every year. But whenever there's a wedding, the defense is pretty shitty. So, but maybe now that they're on their toes, maybe their defense is back up to where it normally is. So maybe Jack wouldn't be able to get into their territory so easily. But
I think this is like the perfect time though, because of everything that's happening, they're just chasing the strides, the Vince Smoke, Capone. They're looking for 3 different groups of people essentially. So they're spread out quite thin, so someone can easily just enter their territory without them noticing. I reckon.
That's a pretty far-fetched theory anyway, though, because Pedro, we've seen that he legitimately cares for the Mink Kingdom.
All right.
Well, sometimes you make deals with the mafia people and see what happens. Like, you know what I mean?
But what sort of deal could he possibly make?
Essentially, my opinion is like this. It was like Kaido's like, we know where Zo is. We'll destroy Zo unless you join me.
Unless you
just ransom him. Yeah, unless you join me, they ransom him.
But they'd left him to die, though. I feel like.
No, I feel like if you really look at those Zo again, out of everybody, he was the one who was best off. Everyone else was dying a lot, but Pedro looked like he would survive that. So I reckon he probably got beaten quite badly, but just enough for him to survive. But everyone else could have died, kind of thing.
So you think that they turned on Pedro, basically?
No, I don't think they turned on Pedro. They just made it like a good act, essentially.
What?
Like Pedro, Pedro was made to find because they probably figured out that the red poneglyphs there, right?
Okay.
And then essentially, they told Pedro, look, you get us the red poneglyph, or we'll kill Zo, and then that means all your family die. So essentially, Pedro's the whole time trying to figure out how to get there and all that stuff. But only Nekomamushi and Inarashi know about it, specifically. So, when Jack, like, kind of got tired of waiting, so Jack came about and was like, look, we're looking for someone, but it's all a ruse, essentially. Yeah, kind of. It's a bit far fetched, but that's kind of what I believe.
It's pretty far fetched because I don't see how. Because whoever was the trader, they had to make those arrangements prior to the events of Zoe. So if they made the arrangements to say that, okay, so we'll protect Zoe, but you gotta join us. So why would they attack Zoe?
Because he's Kaido. And plus Pedro didn't come up with the poneglyph.
But I just asked you, so they turned on Pedro, and you said no.
No, because they kept him alive still. That's what I'm just saying.
How they not turning on him if the deal was to protect Zoe? That's turning on him. If they attack Zoe.
Good point, but essentially they did attack Zoe, but not all the minks were gonna die. It was like a lesson. It was like, hey, next time I come back, Zoe will be gone, so you better get me what I want.
It's pretty weird, Mickey.
Yes, it is, but that's just my theory on it. But yeah,
It's very odd.
Oh, and actually, wait, Dom Hammer makes a good point. Carrot could be the traitor as well, but I just think she's too naive. Like, I don't know.
That may be why she's the traitor.
No, yeah, but it's like she's never left the island though.
I mean, you don't have to leave the island to get into contact with people, do you?
Well, if your island's consistently moving all the time, yeah.
Like, what if Kaido has a mink on his crew? Well, Kaido has a mink on his crew, and that mink went back to Zoe and saw Carrot and was saw Carrot and was like, hey, you can do this for me, this and that, and Carrot unknowingly does these things that lead to the almost downfall of Zoe.
Yo ho ho!
Oh shit!
Hey, how's it going,
This
Grim?
nigga just jumped in out of nowhere. Okay, what's up, Grim?
How's it going? You doing all right, man?
Doing mighty fine.
You get the live reaction for the program.
Oh, of course I do. It's coming up in a little bit. I'm gonna that shit.
Wow.
Weird, no?
Just making sure.
Yeah,
I was
you
waiting
guys,
for that every week.
Yeah, man.
Oh, really? All right.
Careful that
Should
best
drop
stuff
that
going on, isn't it?
What you guys up to?
No, yeah, we're just talking. We were talking about the whole cake arc in general, and then we just went on a bit of a tangent about my theory about Pedro being a traitor and stuff. But yeah.
Oh, the dead traitor, huh? All right.
Yeah.
I don't think he's dead though. I don't think he's dead, honestly. Until I see a body, it's like Oda's done it, man. He's pump faked us enough too many times, man.
I just don't see. If he was alive, where would he be?
Under the sea, under the sea.
Him and Sanji will probably come in and save Luffy from Katakuri.
And Peril Sparrow didn't notice that he went under the sea?
He had his arm blown off. He's not noticing much, to be honest.
So having your arm blown off prevents you from noticing things.
No, okay. First of all, he put his candy wall up, and then when Kaido went all ISIS on him, when Pedro went all ISIS on him, like basically, yeah, it was like, well, he didn't. He got fucking shook in it. It was like, oh no, oh my god, my candy armor got broken. I'm so heavily injured. Big Mom just is like falling over. Like, what's going on?
And nobody noticed Pedro. Nobody noticed Pedro going to the sea.
It was a massive explosion, man.
It didn't cover the water though.
Did you see what happened to Big Mom though? Literally, the shockwave made it like fly, man.
What does that have to do with being able to see into the ocean?
I'm just saying, the nigga could have just like got blown up, used the explosion as like fuel, not fuel, but as in like kinetic energy to push him just fly away into the ocean. I'm just saying, man. It sounds ridiculous, but it's possible. If a guy can survive a nuke in the sky, yeah, I'm just saying, anything's possible.
Yeah, but nobody was around Pell to be able to say, "Oh, there's no way he survived that."
Dude, we saw him literally too close. He's like,
we saw it. We saw it, but nobody in the verse saw it. If somebody would have saw it in the verse, they would have probably been like, Oh, you know, Pill, he survived that. We saw it thinking like, oh, ain't no way.
This ain't Dark Knight Rises. Fucking, there's no automatic. The guy is literally just fucking flew by himself. There's no automated shit. He should have died. That's why ever since then, and with Bon Clay especially, it's like ever since them two, I was like, okay, maybe no one dies until you see them actually dead. That's it. Yeah, I know he did have the dynamite wrapped around his waist, Dom Hammer, but at the same time, man, Oda has done this before, man. All I'm saying.
That's a good excuse.
Well, shit, has Oda not tricked us before and like said people are dead and they should be dead, but they're somehow not?
I mean, did he really say that Pell's dead?
Did he say Pedro's dead?
No, but look at the circumstances, bro.
I look at the circumstances of Pell, man.
Yeah, but Pell could have survived. It was nobody in the verse that could have said, oh, you know what? He's dead. But in this situation, if Pedro survived and he avoided the blast somehow, somebody should have seen him.
Mink Haki, I don't know. Fucking haven't seen him. I don't know.
This nigga said Mink Haki.
And you see how fast that guy is, man. He's like fucking Roadrunner.
He's not fast enough. He's not fast enough for Pharaoh's Pharaoh.
Hey, if you can't fight Paris Sparrow one-on-one like that, he's a savage. So you have to do some tricky shit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Anyway, man, because this is gonna go nowhere. Hey, Grim, what's your thoughts on what you'd like to see before Whole Cake ends?
Luffy's death.
Who's death?
Yeah, he talked.
He said Luffy's death.
What?
Yep. What do you mean, bro? Why are you judging me on what I want, bro? What are you judging me?
You being serious right now?
Bro, I'm tired of this fucker.
This smoke snail boats.
What's up, Bears?
Oh shit! Now that's Joseph. Shit.
What's good?
Hey, this guy wants Luffy to die, man. I'm surprised as a motherfucker. What?
I mean, if he dies, he dies. Yeah.
What the fuck? I should end the stream right now. You guys talking crazy, man. What the fuck?
I mean, I look at it like this, man. Like the way he goes about doing things, I wouldn't be surprised if he did die. I mean, without plot hacks, Luffy supposed to been dead. Straight up. That nigga Luffy wasn't supposed to make it past Alabasta.
Oh, come on, man. No, Alabasta justifiable, man. I don't know justifiable. He was a no.
He wasn't supposed to make it past Alabasta. Big Daddy Crocodile put that hook in his ass.
Wow.
He was a no-name, man, and he's got a lineage, man. He's the son of Dragon, grandson of God.
Dragon don't give a fuck about that nigga. Dragon left him on somebody else's porch and went off to go do other shit. Dragon don't even think about that nigga.
All these things are true.
Well, he looked in the newspaper about him. He's just like, hey, Luffy, man, if you ever keep
if your bastard son came up in the newspaper, you look too.
Oh, true, but
right?
and Garp cared about Luffy anyway. Come on now, Garp gave him the fist of love on that. Come on.
Yeah, Garp cared about Luffy. You know, ain't nothing like granddad love. Like, you gotta have that. But that's the only thing he had going for him. If he would have stayed with Garp and kept, look, if he would have stayed with Garp, then he wouldn't have went to Alabasta and got wrecked.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But look, hey, don't none of you guys
imagine if Luffy would have stayed with Garp and became a Marine. Do you know how strong that nigga would be?
Yeah, he'd be pretty strong.
Luffy with all the stuff he got now, plus fucking Soru. I mean, not Soru, but Rokushiki and all that shit. Come on.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But I don't know, man. It's just some of the people he fought, he wouldn't be fighting any Shibukai though. Like, he wouldn't be surpassing any of those guys. So it's different. But anyway, man, I'm just saying, man. I don't know why you guys say Luffy. Why not someone like? I even hate to say it, but why not like fucking
Zoro?
Not Zoro, no. Zoro. I guess. No, not Zoro.
Oh,
but like,
if Zoro died, the community was pretty much like The community would slit their throats if Zoro dies, so they can't do that.
Yeah, he hasn't even achieved his dream yet. Until he does that, he's no possibility of dying. So same
So
thing
no
for
flat to
Luffy.
And
die.
Zoro doesn't use plot hacks as much as Luffy, so you know.
Hey, I'm okay. Alabasta was not plot hacks. I will argue that to the maximum. That was not plot
That
hacks.
was totally plot hacks, man.
Yeah, let me die 3 times for
Look,
survive.
alright. No, look. I'm just saying.
So you saying that it wasn't because of plot hacks that fucking he legitimately lived from that shit that motherfucking crocodile put him through.
Wait, Nikki trying to say this not plot hack?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think. No, I can argue from this point of view. Like,
Okay.
for example,
Go ahead and try.
look, it's okay. All right, this is the first time Luffy's fighting someone like that on that caliber, right? He's a no-name
Mhm.
pirate essentially. He's just entered like the Grand Line and everything, so no one knows about him. So
Sound
that's
like
why
reason
Crocodile.
for this guy.
No, I'm just saying he's just no-name. So essentially, no one knows what he's capable of. So Crocodile's doing all these things to him, like sucking him dry, stabbing him, and all that stuff. But the fact there's people like Robin around, he saved him one time, yes.
Plot hacks.
No, how's that plot hacks? Robin hated Crocodile, so it's like she didn't care about that.
And that's when what do we call that? Plot hacks.
It's not no plot hacks is like there's a situation that he should. Okay, whoa. I need to word this correctly so I don't sound stupid.
Yes, go ahead. Because you was about to talk yourself into a damn ditch.
No, it's like plot hacks is like if Luffy fought Cracker and won by himself. That's plot hacks.
It all depends on how he won.
What? What do you mean how he won? He didn't
It
stand
all
a
depends
chance
on
against
how he
Cracker.
won. Would it be if he beat Crocodile? I mean, if he beat Cracker straight off the hands with like legitimate reasons, then yes.
For what legitimate reasons? This would only be plot
I'm
hacks.
saying like you said if he would have beat Cracker, it would have been plot head. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, with no help from anyone, no army, no nothing. Yeah.
That's why I'm saying it depends on how he won. Did he win through plot hacks or did he legitimately win?
How can he legitimately win?
Because if he I'm saying if he went up to Cracker and just fought him straight up 1v1 and won without no extra shit coming from the side, then it wouldn't be plot hacks. No matter how you look at it.
No.
Right? Right?
Hell
Yes.
no. What do you mean? Okay, so are you legitimately saying there's a chance of Cracker losing to Luffy 1-on-1?
Yes. There's a chance, yeah.
Oh my god. Am I the only one who thinks this shit's crazy? Am I the only one?
I think it's crazy, but
I feel like maybe a small chance, but I honestly see.
Look. Steve-O, you just said maybe, and maybe means there's a chance.
Yeah, there's a chance. There's a chance.
How is there a chance?
Yeah. That's all I'm trying to prove.
When his only attack, right, was not even effective until he got help from Nami.
Yeah, that's true. He won through plot hacks. I'm not saying that's wrong. Like he won through plot hacks.
Nah, that's not plot hacks, man. Nami helped him win. That's different.
That's not a plot hack. He just needed help.
I think because Cracker was like very stupid.
He was arrogant. That was different.
And that may be,
and it's very situational.
That may be.
Go ahead.
That may be his character. That may be who he is. But at the same time, it seems like every villain that he runs across is the same way. They either underestimate him, or they're so arrogant to a point where they think he can't do anything to them. So they
like this Katakuri. Like right now, while he's fighting Katakuri, what's Katakuri doing? He's gloating like a motherfucker, right?
For no reason.
Why is everyone saying this? Like, okay, is even the people in the comments are saying if this depends how Luffy wins? What? Are you motherfuckers crazy? This
it depends on how he wins. What for us to call it plot hacks?
You're talking about if we didn't see what Cracker like showed us. We're talking about if Cracker stood in front of Luffy and we didn't know anything about Cracker. Yeah, there's no reason why Luffy couldn't be able to win. Maybe. I don't know.
What was this question? I just joined. Hello, guys.
What's up, Milo?
What's up?
What's up, Milo? Now the question was, okay, first it was like essentially I'm arguing the point that Luffy beating Crocodile in Alabasta wasn't plot hacks. But
Yes.
and then I
Hold on, wait. Hold on, wait. What did you just say?
Oh my
Was
god, okay. Luffy
was not. Was or wasn't?
plot hacks in Alabasta.
Sound creditless as fuck, don't it?
Wait, are you saying that it wasn't plot hacks that he beat?
Yeah, I'm saying it wasn't plot hacks.
Okay, so you're starting off creditless. What is the next thing?
Okay, fuck you, Milo, first, but yeah, the next thing is this. I asked the question. I made an example of saying Luffy versus Cracker. If Luffy wins that fight, that's plot hacks. One-on-one, no one else
And
involved.
then I said,
Hold on, wait. So let me get this straight. Luffy beating a man that killed him twice because he realized that his blood was enough to touch his sand isn't plot hack? Okay, continue.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Okay.
but what I was saying, when we got to the point about Luffy versus Cracker, he said, say it again say the situation again. I forgot.
I said Luffy versus Cracker, one-on-one. No, there's nothing else involved. It's just them two. That if Luffy wins that fight, that's totally plot hacks.
And then what I said was it depends on how Luffy beats him. That is where the plot hack comes in. It's not whether he beats him or not. It's how.
Hold on. I can't wrap my head around this. So Luffy beating Cracker, a physical fighter who when he already has Haki and Gear 4, is plot hack. But when he doesn't know Haki and he beats a low gear that he shouldn't be able to touch physically is not plot hack. A low gear, mind you, with the power to dry you out by simply touching you. A low gear who poisoned him is not plot.
And he got given the antidote as well, but that's awesome. Yeah.
And there's plot hacks.
He got given an antidote after the fight, though, didn't he?
Yeah. Okay. I'll put it this way. Okay.
But didn't he give the antidote? He got given the antidote after the fight, though, right?
Okay. I'll put it this way. I'll go
Just
by
answer the question.
Yes. I said yes already.
Okay, so then just plot hacks, bro. He should have died from the poison.
Wait. Let me just say where I'm coming from. All right. The first fight with Crocodile, right? Luffy just got smashed. He lost. He got basically thrown into that quicksand, and that was it. Yeah. Miserably.
Right.
And then we found out Nico Robin saved him, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So
The
that
second
one.
fight.
Okay. So that one. Okay. Let's just say Crocodile underestimated. He thought he was just done, and no one was gonna help him because they're in the desert, right?
Underestimated. He's dead. He died.
He died. He left him dropping in quicksand. He wasn't dead. He just left him drowning.
He drained him of all his moisture, bro. The nigga thought he was dead.
That's the second fight. That's the second fight.
I could have swore he did that the first time, bro. I just watched it in the anime. I could have swore he did that.
No, he just hooked him in the first fight. He just hooked him.
Okay.
He just hooked him.
He hooked him. Right.
All right.
He put a hook in his chest and ripped him open. Continue.
Okay, so then the next time is when they're fighting on top of where is it, the palace, and essentially now Luffy's kind of figured out his weakness. He's brought war with him and stuff, and he's doing a bit of damage to Crocodile. Yes.
Right.
All right. So now Crocodile. Okay, this thing we know Luffy's got magical luck because he's a D. Okay, let's just say put that out there. All right.
Plot hack.
Plot hacks.
Plot hack.
Nigga, you just lost the argument right there, bro.
Okay, fine. Take away that.
Did you say magical luck?
You just admitted
Did you
that
just say magic? We're not reading fairy tales. We're not reading the Shima. There's no magic, son.
Just because it's written into the story as a story element, like just
okay. Let's take away that. Okay. My bad. Let me.
You can't take it away. It's there.
I took it away. It's delete.
Okay. He took away his own sentence. We didn't hear it.
Right. So then we see him doing damage to Crocodile. They're fighting, and Crocodile figures out what's happening. and then he drains Luffy, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm about to go now. I gotta do some extra work real quick.
All right.
Gang, gang, bang, bang. Who gang, nigga?
All right. All right. But see you later. Vince Smoke, Snowboats. They shit. But okay, man. See you later. All right.
Boo gang, nigga, hold on, gang shit, nigga.
Okay, and then okay, okay. After that, all right, he's been drained, and then that big wall bubble comes down and saves him. All right.
A what?
Butt
Where did the
butt
water bubble come from? Where did the water bubble come from?
He shot it out. Luffy shot himself out tactically. Yeah.
Where did the water
And
bubble?
want me to tell you what I call that? Plot hacks.
And then the last fight, right? Essentially now he's just full of blood, everything like that. And Crocodile, let's not forget, Crocodile has taken some blows. He's not like some weakling, or like he's not a weakling, but he's taking some blows. It's not like for 100%. And
From who?
from Luffy when he was fighting in the palace in the second fight.
All right, so Crocodile got hit twice. Okay, continue.
Yeah, he took a gum rocket or whatever to his fucking stomach. So
Right.
yeah.
So he's obviously dead. Continue.
No, he's not dead, but I'm just saying.
No, he died. No, I'm giving you that. He died.
Okay, and then okay, fuck you about it. But okay, now we go to the third fight. Yeah.
Right.
The third fight is the one actually. It makes the most sense now. We found out about Luffy's backstory and how strong he is, essentially. All right, and what we found about Crocodile as well. Him just resting on his laurels, just chilling in paradise, thinking because he failed in a new world, everything like that. So he's just been relying so much on his ability of him being a Logia. Essentially, left the little space open for him to be defeated by someone like Luffy, who's very determined, whose abilities now he's been learning, and he has mad strength. Even though it was pre-time skip, he did still have kind of mad strength by the time, especially in Paradise, right? So when he finished off Crocodile, it made logical sense because Luffy always has that extra drive to push himself further, essentially. So that's what he has to do, man, and that's it.
So hold on. I understand spraying enough water on Crocodile to make the sand solid. You're telling me Luffy was bleeding enough so that Crocodile was covered in Luffy's blood and he was able to hit him? Because if that's the case, Luffy should have died because the human body only has so much blood in it.
He's a rubber man. We can't take
so he doesn't work with blood? Is that what you're saying now?
I'm just saying, essentially, I think that kind of helps to, negate some of the human weaknesses a normal person would have.
His rubber.
Nigga, when you said Luffy got super luck, it ain't no negating that shit, nigga. The fuck?
Wait a second. Did you just say his rubber negated the fact that he needs blood in his body?
No, not negate. I'm just saying it just stops it slows down the human, like a normal human would be dead, yes. But because he's a rubber man, it kind of slows down those kind of effects.
How do you know this biology? How do you know that shit'll work that way?
Because Gear 2, Gear 3, that's why. Niggas making his bones into like...
No. If anything, Gear 2 is proof that he's a normal person when it comes to that regard. It pumps up his blood at a super fast rate so that he can move fast like the members from CP9. But the only reason it works like that is because he's a normal person. Other than
no, that's literally the opposite. It's because he's a rubber man.
Oh, bro, if being rubber had any effect on his blood, had any positive effect on his blood, then it wouldn't have been killing him. Gear 2 was killing him, bro.
Yeah, of course it's killing him. That's because he never mastered it. He just did the new technique. But what I'm saying is,
because he got normal blood, just like a normal human.
Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to say. But the fact is, no normal human person could do that kind of technique unless they're made out of rubber, like Luffy, right?
But nigga,
but you trying to say the rubber got something to do with him having different blood, or he don't need as much blood to survive? Clearly, he does.
No, I'm saying the devil fruit ability. Essentially, just it lessens it just gives him a little extra supernatural ability. That's what I'm trying to say, man.
But how does that?
Fuck you, though.
How does that have anything to do with the amount of blood that he needs to survive, though?
I don't know we don't know all the abilities of devil fruits. Okay, I'm just saying sometimes you gotta go off the craziness that is the devil fruits and just assume some shit. All
But
right.
the craziness of the devil fruit ain't got nothing to do with what you saying.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't. I just told you why it doesn't.
You know what? You know what? I admire you. Fight the good fight. Fight the good fight. I mean, it's a losing fight, but you fight the good fight.
Everyone says that's a losing fight, but hey, man, when I'm right, I'm right. I'm just saying,
nigga. The way this discussion is going is the way that Luffy versus Crocodile is supposed to go, minus plot hacks. Just get bodied.
There was no plot. Okay, fuck it. I'll give in. The second fight was plot hacks. I can't lie about that.
First one.
Nigga, the whole shit.
All of them were plot hacks.
No,
He should have died each time.
No, the first and the third one, no. The second one, yes, I agree.
Definitely yes.
Well, no. No, you don't understand. The reason the first one was plot hack is because he didn't die. Like,
Dome, you got a point. Oh, my bad. I was looking at the comments. The guy in the comments, fucking Dome Hammer, I think his name. He said One Piece humans are weird sometimes, like how Zoro can bulk up his muscles for certain attacks.
Exactly. I'm just saying. Thank you very much, Dome Hammer. I'm just saying. You can't. It's a fucking. You know what I mean? It's just weird.
Yeah,
One Piece people are weird like that.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with Luffy needing less blood?
That's happening with Zoro. But here's the thing. The thing you said with the blood and all that shit, that's straight head canon.
Okay, let me ask you this, right? when Zoro did his sacrifice, he should be dead, right? The amount of blood that he just lost just doing that, he should be dead, yes?
Yeah, in my opinion, yeah.
And I'm gonna word this carefully. Do you think him surviving was plot hacks?
yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Him surviving what now?
Him surviving Mihawk was plot hacks. Let's put it to you like that.
No, but Mihawk said it was not time for him to die yet. So essentially, Mihawk just
plot hacks, bro. Mihawk literally asked. He was like, "Let's see how this plot hacks protects you."
Yeah, yeah, guys. We all know Mihawk could have one shot everybody in that vicinity. Yeah. And then there was the one nigga. He was like, you know what? I'm not gonna kill you yet, young blood.
No,
that is true.
Out of nowhere, like nigga, I got too much respect for you, young blood. This plot has made me see something in you.
The only person that might have survived Mihawk at that point was Zeph. Maybe Zeph.
No, Zeph would have got fucked up too.
Zeph was not gonna survive Mihawk.
Everybody there was Mihawk's bitch. Everybody there was Mihawk's bitch. That's
Crocodile blocked him too.
No, but we're talking about when we first meet Mihawk.
We talking about when we first met Mihawk at the Bronte.
Yeah, not like.
That you meant Marineford. Okay, I apologize. Go
ahead. Yeah. So it's just like yo, everybody there could have been like dead instantly. But the plot had made Mihawk see the light when he saw Zoro. He's like, you know what? I like this young blood. I'm not gonna kill him, even though I came here to fuck up some niggas for no reason. But this one nigga right here, I like him. We gonna keep him alive.
He saw the shining light.
Yeah.
No, but I feel like we define plot hacks differently. I'm gonna like the Mihawk thing is not plot hacks to me because essentially Mihawk was not out to kill anyone besides Don Krieg, right?
No, Mihawk
you can say that. Like I feel like with the whole Mihawk thing, that's kind of stretching it to call it plot hacks. Honestly, I honestly that's kind of a stretch because if you think about it, like with like the whole swordsmanship thing, that's kind of Mihawk's character. Yeah. Like now that we know more about him. So it's kind of a stretch to say that's plot hacks, but at the same time, there is an argument to be made for it.
Do you remember Marineford? Those two guys said, we trained just so we could come back to fight you? Why Mihawk didn't respect them for training?
Because they were some pussy niggas.
Yeah, that's true. They
ain't have the songs like Zoro.
They didn't have a plot hack. They didn't have a plot hack.
No, shut up, Steve.
Respect them.
No, Mihawk even said essentially he was the last, like Zoro was the last person of that kind of willing to die. That he was like, okay, this guy is gonna be something.
Yeah, he's like this nigga real. He saw the real nigga in Zoro. Them other dudes, they wasn't no real niggas. That's why Mihawk was like, you know what? Fuck these fools, nigga. I'm gonna cut them niggas
So they
up.
were. So that's biased. Just
Yeah,
because they got
it's
certain.
by. Here's the thing, though. Like I said, that's with Mihawk's character. Like if it'd be different if it went out of Mihawk's character to save Zoro. Like if Mihawk was some savage ass, oh I'm gonna kill you this, kill you that, I don't give a fuck, and then he just suddenly decided to spare Zoro, that'd be different. But with
Well,
him
people could
as an
argue.
honorable swordsman,
Yeah,
that kind of
exactly.
makes sense that it would
No, you could argue against Mihawk character because this quote that upsets me every time someone brings it up.
Mhm.
My sword has
My
no
power knows no restraint.
Yeah, right. And yet, when you cut Zoro, you deliberately let him live. So if you can't control your power, how you deliberately let Zoro live?
Man, nigga, I think he was saying my power has no restraint to flex on niggas. Like, come on, if you a swordsman, look, if you a swordsman, you have to have restraint. Like that's part of the shit. Straight up, I think he was just. Who did he say that quote to?
To
He was just
Luffy.
saying that he just talking out loud, just thinking out
Yeah,
loud.
Yeah. So, and there was that Marine Corps, right?
Yeah, that was a Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And in that type of setting, in a warlike setting, saying lines like that shit helps boost morale. Like, you know, like you supposed to say shit like that at war, nigga.
Listen to how he said it. He's like, I'm sorry, red hair, but when I take out my sword, my power has no restraint, so I have to kill Luffy.
No, he even said
He did say it in his head, didn't he?
No, he did, but remember
Okay.
this.
Well, yeah,
You
that's
have to
different.
put that in context, though, because last time he did give a Luffy kind of a pass, right?
Yeah.
What context is there? The
Okay,
man who everybody's talking about, the man who Sengoku announced as being the fucking son of fucking the worst criminal and shit, is running in front of you. He knows he has to do this because of his job, but he's gonna save him. He's not gonna fucking go like it's exactly how I fucking told us, bro. The nigga said he wasn't gonna hold back against this nigga, and the nigga fucking ran up on him and shit.
Oh no.
You got saved by Crocodile, and then you got saved by the other guy, Flower Vista.
And then Mr. One.
So I don't think it puts Mihawk's integrity in question because he did go after Luffy's head.
Yeah,
it doesn't at all. He did exactly what he said he was gonna do.
Okay, so if that's the case, then Zoro has immense plot hacks on him.
No, because here's the difference, Milo.
Hold on. Let me finish. He used the same exact sword to cut Zoro. The same sword where he can't control his power. And if this sword, so you're telling me he can't control his power. We saw this man swing this sword and cut a mountain in half. Why didn't that chop go straight through Zoro and keep going on the ocean?
Look,
let me break it down for you, Milo.
Even when you address it like that, the reason why we can speculate and say that this is more concrete than the other one is because he literally said it this time. Like I agree with what you're saying, but this time he actually said it. So I'm not going to give it to Zoro last time.
I look at it like this. When Mihawk said that my sword, when I unsheathed my sword, I can't restrain my power, whatever the fuck. He was saying that metaphorically, like when it's time for me to do business, I take care of business.
So
that's basically what he was saying in a metaphorical way. You feel me? It wasn't as if, it wasn't literal. It wasn't like, I can't contain my power, as in I'm just gonna swing and kill everybody in the fucking neighborhood on accident. No, like come on.
And Milo, one more thing as well. We got to put in context of this. When we first saw Mihawk, he was chasing Don Krieg on a whim. He was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna go kill this nigga." And then he saw Zoro and Luffy and all that. But when he was Marineford, he was ordered to go fight White.
He was working. He was at work. He was working. He was getting a check for that.
Exactly. That's what his day job was. A Shibakai.
He was getting work, nigga.
Okay, so hold on.
When it came to Don Krieg at the Baratier, he was on his day off, man. He was just fucking with Don Krieg for the hell of it.
Does what he wants when he wants, regardless of whether he's working or not.
But he chose to get involved in Marineford, though. And he specifically knew what it entailed, which would be to kill different loads of pirates and stuff.
Especially Luffy.
But we have to admit that all of the Straw Hats have this big umbrella of plot hacks on him. I mean,
Oh yeah, that's no doubt about that.
like this
There's no doubt about that at all.
Like, come on, you have Chopper. Not, I don't even want to talk about Chopper. He's useless.
Hey, don't call the doctor useless. He saves everybody's life.
Yeah, he a bomb ass doctor.
All right. Yeah, whatever. He's a doctor. Yay, medicine.
That guy said yay medicine. All right.
No, but like, we have Zoro, who just so happened to not die. Like, Zoro should have died so many times. It's not funny.
Everybody on Straw Hat Crew should have died so many times.
Like,
look, there's a special set of people, all right. And I'm just saying, okay. If we say Sanji, Luffy, and Zoro, they're just inhuman, right?
Yeah.
They've been through hell essentially, and they've made it the way out.
Yeah.
So, there's a few things, like I said, I have to admit the second Luffy fight with Crocodile, that was definitely plot hacks. I can't deny that. But like I'm trying to make my point of plot hacks is like, I define it differently to you guys. It seems like plot hacks to me is like you're fighting one-on-one with someone, and there's that guy wants to murder you. There's nothing else involved. The guy says, "I'm gonna kill you," and then somehow you survive. And the guy's definitely stronger than you.
Nah.
And somehow you survive. That's plot hacks.
Hold on, wait. So how did you not survive? How did you not describe Luffy in almost every fight he's in so far, except Hody Jones, because Luffy was definitely stronger than Hody. And with a straight face, how do you describe it?
Plot hacks.
Yeah.
Wait, which fight? Okay.
Like, I'm gonna go, like,
should we go in order of the fight?
Yeah, go in order. I can argue.
All right. So Crocodile was one. Then let's see. Then we have Enel, which
the gum fruit. The gum fruit. That's it.
Oh my God! Please stop. Because if you tell me rubber can catch lightning, it's gonna hurt my heart. Because I believe you're intelligent.
I don't know the properties of that word. Yes, in our real world,
hey, look, check this out. Hey,
melted.
Fam, look. If I wore all rubbers, look, hey.
Yeah.
I can
hear me? Yeah. All rubber suit and stood outside a thunderstorm and a shark.
You couldn't out. You couldn't out.
You're cutting out. I didn't hear what you said.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, I said, I bet you if I wore an all rubber suit and stood out in a thunderstorm and got hit by some lightning, I bet you I'd be dead tomorrow.
Yeah, but you're assuming you're not in a One Piece world. The One Piece world, some shit does not make sense. I agree. But what I'm saying is in the properties of that world, for some reason, rubber doesn't affect that way. That's what I'm saying. You can't assume the same things of our world with their world.
I feel like that example with a nail is a little different because
that's true.
We were actually introduced to the fact that it wouldn't work against Luffy. But in the other situations that we bring up, it's like, we see Luffy's limitations, and this is well outside of those limitations.
So NL done. You can't use NL against me. Find another one.
Oh, what do you mean I can't? Even if
I made a good point.
Wait. Even if he could touch the rubber, how come NL couldn't heat him up and just stab him to death? Like,
that's a good way of bringing a nail into this argument.
Yeah, like, and also we I think Steve-O just shot this down though. When I was talking about how even though he's rubber, that shit don't allow him to be able to like hit a nail. Yeah. So that's dead.
Like, how come he couldn't? Because we know he could manipulate the gold. How come he couldn't make a golden staff, stab Luffy to death with a hot piece of lead?
Well, he did stab Luffy with a golden staff, like the trident or whatever. But at the same time, I just think they do what every kind of shonen villain does. They underestimate their opponents, and then it's too late and they lose, kind of thing.
And we call it plot hacks. Nah.
That's what plot hacks are. You just said what plot hacks are.
Well, Well, that can be not. Well, it don't always have to be plot hacks.
Yeah.
It's like the way it's done. Like it's definitely the way it's done. It's just that with Luffy gets so much conveniences that it's just like, bruh, the fuck. Like ain't not in a million years. Like that's the type of shit he gets. The not in a million years type of shit. You know.
We're not even gonna go to Moria because.
Oh, well, okay. Oh, go to Moria. Go to Moria.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
go to Moria. I'm curious myself.
Okay, NL is like I've kind of dealt with NL. I can't like keep going on about NL. I just said you can't apply the same principles of our world to One Piece.
Yeah,
right?
go to Moria.
Hold on. Real quick. When Luffy met up with Moria, right? And when I first looked at this, I'm like, oh, Luffy was more powerful than Moria. And then I was educated, I'll admit. Luffy fought with Moria. Moria was so much more powerful than Luffy that, look, Moria was sitting down while Luffy was trying to attack him. And Moria is like, what are you doing? Moria got his shadow to literally box with Luffy while he's laying down sleeping. That's the difference in power between the two.
And then Luffy figured out it was just his ability, not himself, that was strong. Like essentially, because he was he sucked in so many people's shadows already. Like he never the thing about Moria is built on faulty grounds. Essentially, he didn't make himself strong at all. That's why he used other people's strength to his advantage. So
Moria didn't even need to absorb the shadows. If Moria had let Doppelganger continue to fight Luffy, the time would have ran out and Luffy would have died.
I disagree.
How do you disagree when it already happened, bro? We already seen that Luffy couldn't fight. He couldn't fight Doppelman, bro.
Yeah, Doppelman was giving Luffy them hands.
Okay, okay.
But I kind of disagree with the point that you said. Milo about how he was so much stronger. I think it like he said, it's his ability. Like Doppelman is a way bad matchup for Luffy, you know. Like he could have literally sat there and spammed that shit when it had no consequence at all. But it wasn't because of his like strength or whatever.
But at the same time, that's his ability. So I think that's a factor into his own strength.
I reckon Luffy would have gone past that though. Luffy would have figured it out. He's a fighting genius. Let's be honest.
Yeah, Luffy's not the only genius in the world, bro. Like all these niggas.
Guess what? He didn't even have to fight Luffy. He could have flew around. He could have gone inside of the wall and hid until it was time, and Luffy would have died. And actually, that is more like Moria's character, because he doesn't like fighting.
Hello.
Okay, I'm done. Somebody want to say hello to you guys. That's all.
Okay. Look, the Moria one is like I need to reread Thriller Bark a bit, but essentially I think because Moria is such a weak character, in my opinion, besides his ability, his ability is amazing. But as a character in general, he like for example, he should be able to be awakened. Like his awakening would be crazy, but at the same time, he doesn't build anything like that. He's lazy, and that's why he almost got killed off for reason.
And that's why he's not as big of a problem as he should be, because he's a lazy fat fuck.
Moria.
I'm not talking to you people. I'm done.
All right, Moria's wait. Listen. I said Moria's ability is crazy good, but he's lazy. So if he didn't he isn't even awakened to anything like that, even though he's been a pirate for so long, and we know pirates like Dofi's awakened. So it's like
we don't know if Moria's awakened or not.
Awakened. Is Jim excuse me.
But Boa's got crazy Haki though, so it's alright. And El's got fucking.
No, that's not what you said. That's not what you said. You
think
said he's been a
Warriors
pirate
doesn't
for a
have
long
time?
time, so he should be awakened.
Oh wait, you
There
don't
are
think
plethora
Warriors?
of
Hey,
pirates
well,
who aren't awakened.
hey,
Is Whitebeard awakened? Is Marco
Huh?
awakened?
hey,
Is
let's go
Jovial
on a
Oh,
awakened?
yeah, they should be. They should be.
I think
Those
they
are the
are.
ones we don't
let's go
know.
on a tangent here,
I
you
think they
guys.
are.
What do you think? What do you think the requirements are in order for your fruit to be awakened? Like, what do you think you have to go through to get it to become awakened?
I
Because
think
apparently it's not like time. Like, it don't matter how long you got your shit. They don't. That's not like really the thing. Like, what do you think they have to do in order to get to
No,
that level?
why you say it's not time?
yeah, I was gonna say it has
But
to be
why I say
time.
it's not time? Because we know Luffy had his shit since he was a kid. Boa had her shit for a long time. Who else had their shit for a long? Like that shit don't matter. It's like it don't
Well,
matter. It doesn't seem like time is that much of a factor here.
I think time is a
Well,
pretty big factor. I think it just depends on how you decide to develop your fruit. Like Luffy didn't start trying to get better with his fruit until he went onto his journey.
yeah. Essentially, until he met people
And
like
so that
crocodiles, people like
basically
that.
mean hold on. So that basically means time really didn't have anything to do with that.
I
When he
think
decided to start
yeah,
using his fruit,
yeah,
that's
you're
when
right.
it did it.
You're right.
You did
Yeah,
not say that. Okay.
yeah. So
So I don't think time is the thing. I think it's like I think it's more along the lines of like a muscle. Like you know how when you in the gym and you working out and you build muscle over and over until you max out, then you break through your limits and go higher or whatever. I think like if you use your fruit and like to like its highest capabilities in like different situations, like be more versatile or whatever, like basically do CrossFit with your goddamn fruit. And then I think eventually that should have just pop off.
I think it just depends, like how well you work your fruit, and
hmm
and at a certain point, you just get to a point where these different abilities known as the awakening will be made
hmm
available to you.
Who's
So
hoovering, by the way? Sorry, man. Someone's like hoovering in the background or something.
somebody's vacuuming.
What happened?
Someone's
Someone's
using a hoover or
vacuuming.
something.
Oh,
I think
Uber.
so. I think people like Boa or people like Doflamingo, who's already confirmed, like older people who we know have mastered their fruit to a certain point. I think they definitely should be awakening.
Like, let's see here. Let's break down Dofa real quick because his awakening is pretty much been able to turn other things in a string. Like, what do you think led up to that? Like, what do you think he was doing when he first turned like something around him to a string? Like, what was he trying to accomplish before that happened, or did it just happen on accident? Like,
I think
I want to know.
there's probably something that happened
Uh-huh.
on accident. Like he was probably fighting or just using his fruit like any other day, and then suddenly
hmm
he touched the ground and like things started turning into strings. I think that's the way it happened for Luffy. But it could be like once you master your fruit to a certain point, like the fruit, like certain things just become known to you in your
Master,
mind naturally.
like
Like it just
master.
comes to you naturally.
Yeah, because remember how like when you get your fruit, you get like a basic understanding
Yeah,
of it. Like as soon as you
yeah,
get it, like you kind of get like a manual downloaded into your brain, kind of.
yeah. On a basic application, learning how everything works.
Yeah. So basically, what you mean is like if you get full mastery of your fruit of that basic application, then it's like okay, level 2, nigga,
Yeah,
you ready?
yeah. Basically.
Okay. Okay, I can see
All
that.
right. Anyway, Moria's kind of not a scrub, but he's not like as strong as he should be. So, hey, one more
what?
Milo. Give me
Yeah.
another fight.
One more?
The thing with Morio, I feel like you can't call Morio a scrub, bro, because everything that we saw
No,
indicates that.
I didn't say he was a scrub. I didn't say he was a
No,
scrub.
but
I
you were
said,
very close
Hey
to.
man,
You were very close to.
Dome Hammer
I
in
feel
the
like
comment. Hey, Dome Hammer in the comments be dropping gems, man. This
I
nigga
feel
Oh,
like
one
said,
more?
you can't even let that pass your lips, bro. You can't even let
huh?
Morio scrub even pass your lips, bro. Because like
yeah, I can't say that.
the way Morio was presented to us, he didn't even get defeated by the Straw Hats. The castle
Man,
fell
look.
on him.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing
Well,
about
that's
Moria, man. Moria,
why.
look, Moria
He
is
beat
a scrub.
himself.
Look, I say that.
No.
Look, I say it. I say it. Moria is a scrub, and this is why I say Moria
In
is a
what sense?
scrub
In what sense?
because we seen. Look. This is why I say Moria is a scrub. He's not a scrub because he's particularly weak. He's a scrub because he's not the best that he's supposed to be.
Oh,
He's supposed to be
All right.
way stronger than what the fuck he is, but he's a fat, lazy slob and don't want to do shit with his fucking life.
That
Cause
makes
Kaido
sense.
beat the shit out of his ass.
I could
He
accept
a
Oh
that.
my
little
God,
bitch.
I could accept
Dustin.
that.
Okay. Okay.
Nah,
And what do you
fuck
mean
that.
the Straw Hats didn't beat Moria? What?
They didn't beat him. The castle.
Because Moria has one of the dopest powers all in One Piece. Straight up. He got one of the dopest powers. You're supposed to be wrecking shit. You fat slob.
Okay. Okay.
That shit pissing me off
Okay.
thinking about him.
Darcy.
That's like
Oh my God.
motherfucking LeBron James who got down
Oh my
imagine if we see LeBron James a couple weeks from now sitting on this couch. Fat as fuck. He just go to the gym every once in a round and shoot his jump or whatever. Come on now. You
I
like,
gotta
man.
test it.
You be like, man,
See
fuck
if
you.
it's
You be
good.
like, man, fuck LeBron James, man. You used to be great. What the fuck you doing now? Like straight up.
All I'm saying, Steve-O, is like, if they create the circumstances to what he lost, like, of course they beat him. Like, the Straw Hats beat Moria.
Alright.
There's no doubt in my mind.
All right. I'm gonna leave this up to a vote. He said he wants one more. Should I go with Magellan or Doflamingo?
Oh, shit.
You guys pick.
I say
You
Magellan.
guys pick one.
Magellan.
Magellan. All right. So here we have a poison guy who you basically can't touch, right? He poisons Luffy to death. To death. And magically, right? There's a secret society in the prison. And the secret society just so happens to have the one person in One Piece, apparently, who can cure Luffy. And guess what? On the way to the secret society, this guy that Luffy put in jail, right, who's apparently his friend, gets attacked by wolves. And while Luffy is knocked out and unconscious and dead, he wakes up to release a power and then drops back dead. Right?
Well,
and then
Luffy
they get
was
to the guy.
Okay, sorry, you
What?
go, Milo. Sorry,
What were
you
you- what were you-
finish.
And then they get to the guy, and with the power of friendship, right, raw friendship,
Oh,
Luffy survived.
No. You don't fucking say for that. That's bullshit. Come on, don't say for that. Come on. Look.
Hold on,
the
wait. Did he not yell for 9 hours straight, Luffy survive or don't die, or whatever he yelled, and Luffy heard him, and he survived?
All right. Have you ever been when you've been playing football or basketball or something, and the cheerleaders on the side like saying your name like "Go Milo, go Milo"? You get a bit more hyped, you get stronger. You're like, all right.
Hey, with that analogy, he got a point about that hype shit. Cause look, there was this foreign exchange student, she from Sweden, man. And she came to one of my wrestling tournaments. I was trying to bone her ass, man, and like she was in the crowd now. Like, I turned up for that bitch, Turned up for that bitch.
But even if there is some sort of real world equivalent, it's still friendship.
Did he ignore everything I say until the 9 hour yelling? Because it sounded like he did.
Wait, no. Okay, start from the beginning, right? So yeah. He lost to Magellan, right? He got poisoned to death. Yep.
Right.
So he's in the process of dying. Yes.
Right.
But we've already seen how Luffy's durability is quite crazy, right? Since this is so before, like in Enos lobby, all the stuff he went through.
Durability don't mean shit to poison.
And so anyway, right? He's in the process of dying, and he unlocks his Conqueror's Haki. This is what the world's established, that the Haki's in this world, and we know that Luffy has it. He unlocks it and does the little thing, knocks out the wolves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to the part essentially where there has been rumors of its place that distills people. Essentially, there has been rumors in Impel Down, so it was set up. It wasn't like it just magically came out of nowhere. It was set up before Luffy got to that stage. Essentially, before he even fight Magellan, they said there was this weird thing that happened. Some devil would grab you from your cell and you just disappear. Essentially, so that kind of world was hinted at. It wasn't just some magical shit that just appeared. So then we get introduced to Okama's Ivankov essentially, and then Ivankov has the obviously having a weird kind of ability as the Ivankov has with DNA and shit, because of all that trans shit, whatever. It makes sense. He has the ability to essentially modify your body to get stronger. No. If that's the devil fruit ability.
So.
But what he's saying
Alright,
is,
sorry.
like, okay, look, the whole secret societies, we can bypass that because that was already hinted in the story. So like, that was supposed to show up in the story. But the fact that Ivankov is the one nigga in this entire world that can heal him at this moment, just so happen to be there, it's like, yo, like, that's some convenient shit, man.
Not only that, Conqueror's Haki is about bending things to your will. So you mean at the point of dying, Luffy's will, while he's unconscious, is so great. So this man has unconscious will. Come on.
Well, I mean, he's always had
Come on, like
that was showcased throughout the fight with Crocodile.
But he was unconscious. No. He was unconscious.
He was unconscious. He was dying. He was dying. He was unconscious.
Yeah, but like we've been saying, he died 3 times against Crocodile. So I don't really think that's too much.
Well, no, he died. He died twice, really. But yeah.
Oh my god. The fact that he's still alive.
Okay, fine. Fine. That one, I have to agree. That's plot hacks. I can't be a dickhead about it.
Hold on. So, Doflamingo. You can.
Doflamingo's not plot.
Doflamingo
is not plot.
It's not? So, you mean to tell me 10 minutes in between a fight, right? Where you need to survive, right? Isn't plot hacks?
Hey,
Law did enough damage to Doflamingo, but essentially they couldn't just get him straight away. Like Law and Luffy did enough damage.
Hold on. We've seen Doflamingo. First of all, Doflamingo had the ability to control how fast the bird cage worked, right? I don't know why he didn't put 30 minutes up and kill everybody.
Hey, yo, something completely unrelated. I know this is kind of dumb for me to just go off topic like this, but motherfucking Mike Pence looks like Race from Johnny Quest.
What?
Wow.
What? What the fuck?
What?
Mike Pence looks like Race from Johnny Quest.
I feel like I know what you're talking about.
He does. He so does. He so does. But that is so off topic.
Yeah, I know. That's really good. I almost Googled it. I Googled it. I was thinking about it right now. Like, what?
Oh my god.
Just Google Race from Johnny Quest.
No, I think he is. But wow, off topic.
Okay. All right. So fine. I'll explain like this, right? Okay. Let's assume the bird cage is when he's 100%, it's no thing to like close it really easily. But that guy was less than 100%. He's probably on 10 or 5.
Okay, hold on.
After the beating he just went through, like that was no nothing. That was a beating of hell. He took a what was that more that Law did to him?
Gamma knife, yeah.
Gamma knife? That should kill any other normal person. They should be dead.
I agree with you.
Right.
I agree with you.
And then he was taking it to the stomach as well, taking King Kong guns and like Kong guns to the stomach and shit. Like what? So that one was not plot hacks to me. It was just that Dolphy was arrogant, as he's always been shown to be through the whole arc.
But like, but he specifically states when we first get into the arc that this whole tournament and everything he set up was solely because he will not underestimate them at all.
Exactly.
But here's the major plot hacks of Luffy versus Doffy. When Luffy ran out of Gear 4 and the townspeople helped him. Like what the fuck?
Thank you.
Come on, bro.
Hold on.
That's like clear as day.
Why would they
That's
not
what
help
Milo
him?
was talking about, right?
Why would they not help him though? How's that plot hacks?
It's not about whether or not they wouldn't help him, bro. It's about the fact that Doflamingo was actually stifled.
Yes. Hold on. The fact that Doflamingo couldn't just run through all like Doflamingo. They should have been like the breeze and the windbreaker. Seriously.
No, because first of all, there were some people from the Coliseum there. It wasn't like okay, they were scrubs, but they weren't like they would.
Hold on. Stop. Doflamingo has the ability to turn buildings into strength.
And he smashed those people up, but he was still injured though. He wasn't. Let's not forget. He was like 5%. Like he wasn't like.
There is not one person there. There's
So
not
are you
one
trying to say
person there.
that Doflamingo shouldn't have watched them niggas, Nikki? Is that really what you're trying to say?
No,
Word.
I'm saying he did watch them, didn't he? Though he fucked them all up. But
He
what I'm
couldn't have watched
saying
them
is,
too bad if Luffy survived, and they were the only thing in between him and Luffy.
no. But what I'm saying is, if he was even at 50% or something, he would have killed them so much quicker and just got to Luffy. But essentially, because he was so damaged, he couldn't deal. He had to like deal with those little fodder people because now they could get at him and annoy him a little bit, just a little bit more. Like, let's come on now.
You
That
heard
one,
me.
that's not plot hacks. That is not plot hacks. I'm sorry, man. That was
Totally
not
plot hacks.
And you know why? Even though DGK made a fair point, the
Agreed.
fact is Dolphy couldn't think it like Dolphy couldn't like look into Sabo. Sabo's the one thing he was ready for because essentially everyone Dolphy's summations was Luffy was gonna fight in the last fight of the tournament and he's gonna lose to the really scrubby guy.
Bro, but how's he gonna assume that Luffy's gonna lose to that dude? I'm sorry.
No, because they have they had too many things in there. Maybe he'd have been scummy about it. I don't know.
Dude, it was only
I'm not
Burgess
sure.
and what's his name? And I think Burgess is decently strong, but I don't think he's beating Luffy.
Okay, maybe I'll put this a different way. Essentially, he thinks because by the time Luffy gets that last fight, he'd have no energy left. Essentially, like once he finishes that fight to win the Mera Mera no Mi, he's done. Essentially, he's just tired. Then Dolphy could get in for the kill and just finish him off. But because he never even fought that fight, essentially he was okay. He didn't have to Sabo changed everything in Dressrosa. If Sabo wasn't there, Luffy would be dead.
I mean, I can agree with that. But I mean,
I'm just saying.
is that plot hacks?
That's not plot. It was just.
I mean, I think
I
like
don't-
there is like a difference between like plot hacks and like certain, like the townspeople.
Yeah.
To an extent, like it is, but like the fact that they did what they did isn't plot hacks, but the fact that like Luffy didn't run through them is plot hacks, in my opinion.
But it was not like it was just only town people. It was like the fodder
Dude,
from
but it's
the
like even the
Colosseum.
fodder shouldn't matter, bro. I'm sorry. Like you remember
Yeah,
when
but
he won?
he's 5%
listen,
though.
but remember when he one shot Oars Junior?
Yeah, he was 100%. It was literally 100. Nothing
I
happened. to him.
mean, but that's what I'm saying. That's 2 years ago. I'm not saying he got stronger or anything. But I'm just saying like the difference between those people and Oars Junior. Like
I wouldn't.
like one of those fodder for like your logic to apply. One of those fodder would have to be what about 20% of Oars Junior.
No, I'm not saying it was. There's loads of them. Like, I'm saying.
Logics I'm playing.
No, my logic's saying this. Dolphy was so weak. Like, let's be honest. Dolphy's a tank, but he's not fucking invincible. He took a gamma knife. He took like all the fight with Law, and then the fight with Luffy, which was pretty brutal in itself. And somehow he barely survived that because if Luffy got in one more attack, he'd definitely have been finished. But he didn't get that attack, and then we had that little 10-minute to survive thing. But because he was so damaged, it was like 5-10%. Those people could just enough be a hindrance, just a hindrance.
But fam, I just came back and y'all still talking about it. But he was damaged, but he still was keeping up with Gear 4. Like, come on.
No, not after the not as much though, because they're both just their last attack was it kind of thing.
Yeah, but still, he still had enough power to muster up enough to do his awakening all over again, and at least like with a King Kong gun. Like, you mean to tell me he couldn't make like a fucking tsunami of strings and just take out them fodder ass niggas? Like, come on.
But then that would have taken up too much time though and energy because
No, it wouldn't have because look, if he would have did that, he would have been able to kill Luffy. Then he had to worry about it no more.
No, but he had to. The first thing is he had to save himself for Luffy, right? He knows whatever happens if he has to fight Luffy in Gear 4 again. He has to be like, at least have a semblance of his abilities.
That's why he just go and kill that nigga while he's defenseless. Then he wouldn't have to worry about Gear 4 no more.
He was saving up his energy for Luffy. That's what I was thinking. That's
nigga. Why say look? Why save up your energy for Luffy when you could kill him when he's literally being carried like a baby? Literally.
No,
carried like a baby.
It's funny because it's true.
Like, come on.
He just woke up. He just woke up, man. Dolphy was basically KO. Woke up.
Like at the end of the day, he was losing, bro. Like Dolphy Kasama was still there. You know what I mean? And Fuji, like he wasn't winning that. But
yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Like
he could have killed Luffy. Like he could have. and he could have washed that nigga instantly. Like, come on.
But think about his Haki is not on the top form. Like, he had to find
But
him.
he still had look. Just the fact that he had enough to go up against a King Kong gun after the fact, that means he had enough energy to run through them fodder ass niggas and kill Luffy. Straight up.
Well, we're just I agree to disagree. I agree to disagree on that. I'm just saying, man.
That's the truth, fam.
I'm just saying, man. Like the Ivankov Impel Down one, yes, plot hacks. The second 5 crocodile, yes, plot hacks. But everything else, besides,
come on, Dofy
yeah,
plot hack. Him literally being scooped up like a baby by like some fodder ass niggas to run away in the middle of a fight just to come back and win it. That's not plot hacks, nigga.
For 10 minutes.
Come on, let's be real. That's plot hacks.
Well, Dofy was mad injured. If Dofy was 50%, then I'll be like, okay, fair enough. But
nigga, did I not just explain to you that Dofy could have watched them niggas easily and finished Luffy right then and there?
Well, okay, DTK did make the point.
He
might wait. He did make the point that he might have to fight other people essentially. So you have to have something left. Like, come on.
Yeah, and even without having to go into detail about having to like what he had to do to get Luffy, just the fact that in the middle of a fight, Luffy had to get saved. That's plot hacks. Like, come on.
In the Dressrosa's context, no, I don't think so.
What you mean?
It's realistic. Plot hacks with him just winning with no help.
How?
He
clearly had enough power to win. I mean, like he clearly had enough power to win at that point. Regardless, the whole fight is almost plot hack since he had a goddamn fight a week and Dofy already off top. But I ain't even taking that into consideration. But at that point where he ran out of gear fourth and had to literally get saved by some other niggas, that's plot hacks.
It's realistic. The guy, they knew he could beat Dofy. It was just that he needed some time to recover. That was all. That's what I'm saying, man.
Plot hacks.
Not like I'm saying, like I said, plot hacks is like when there's no other options for you to help, and then somehow you survive that shit. That's like fairy tale. Like it's ridiculous. Fairy tale plot hack city. Hey, you didn't say anything with Milo saying it, but it's true. Fairy tale plot, like Urza, always somehow she's super injured.
Yeah.
And the other
nigga, I ain't even talking about fairy tale. We know fairy tale's some bullshit.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I consider plot hacks. Like, there's never been a situation besides a few you guys have mentioned, which I have to agree with, like the second 5 crocodile and the Ivankov situation, which is fair enough. But most of the time, there's not crazy plot hacks like that.
Rob Lucci was almost plot hack when Usopp told him to get up. That was almost plot hacks, but we're gonna let that slide.
That's a friendship power.
I knew it. I knew Steve was gonna say that. I knew it.
That's what it is. I'm calling it what it is, bro. Gotta call a spade a spade.
Okay, Steve-O. I guess so then. Yep, plot hack.
Your friend on the floor about to die, and you yell saying, "Get up." And that's all it takes to push him past his limits. He get up and finish the nigga. With an attack that nigga was able to tank previously in matching speed and power.
If I was playing Burning Blood, Sibo, and you told me to win as soon as I was losing, you know I'd win.
Yeah, come on now.
I'm just okay. I would agree with you almost if he was still standing after that fight. I read it already. I read it. What I'm saying is,
come on, bro. It happened.
I'm saying I would agree with you if he was still.
Did I leave out any details?
No. I'll agree with you if after Luffy did his last attack, he was still standing.
Bro,
hey, bro. Yeah, it was plot hacks because Luffy did a Hawk Gatling on him beforehand, and it didn't work.
No, but it wasn't.
Wait, you know what I meant? But a Jet Gatling on him beforehand, and it didn't work.
So it wasn't that kind of Jet Gatling though. That Jet Gatling was different.
Okay, that's why it's plot hacks though.
Exactly, because it was much stronger.
The nigga.
So you mean to tell me Luffy was hitting that nigga with a 30% Jet Gatling at first, and then he was like, you know what? I might as well hit him with 100% since my nigga Usopp told me to. Like, come on, let's be real.
No. Okay, no, let's put it this way, right? Luffy hit him with everything, but essentially, if no one came to save him, not even thinking about the Navy ships blowing up that tower and everything, he would have died just because he was just exhausted and there's nothing he could do anymore. But if he just hit them like normally, 30% and stuff, he might have been able to get up and stuff and do that stuff again. But he literally used all his ounce of energy, everything, into those last few.
Okay, but here's the thing though. He was beaten to a pulp. Like, how much energy he got left? If he had that much energy left, then he should have just watched that nigga.
No, because they didn't know each other's limits yet. He didn't know how strong Lucci was.
Nigga, look, if I was Luffy, as soon as I threw that first Gatling and he caught both of my shit, I'm going all out. Fuck you mean? Like, ain't no fuck.
You gotta pace yourself, man, because if it doesn't work out, then you lose.
So
you can't go all out in the box.
Pacing yourself is going. Look, pacing yourself is going pretty even. I ain't gonna say even, but you know, you go at a steady rate, whatever, right? But at a steady rate, let's just say he is pacing himself. He went at that steady rate and got beat. And then Usopp told him to get up, and then all of a sudden his fucking pacing went up a level. You don't go up a level when you already been beaten the fuck down, you know? Like you don't get more energy. Like you don't just get that. You don't just open up a magic pocket and get some Zenzu beans and fucking do some shit. Like, get the fuck out of here, fam.
Let's put it this way. Okay, let's put it this way. Essentially, I'm not saying Rob Lucci's on death's door, but Rob Lucci's on like 30% now. Rob Lucci's on like 30% after everything, and Luffy's bleeding on the floor, right? Then Usopp does his pep speech, and he just gets hyped up. That's all, man. He's just like, I gotta do this.
But hype don't account for power, fam. You can be hype all you want. If you ain't got it in your system, you ain't got it in your system, fam.
You've never been in a situation where someone's like, you can do it, and then it actually makes you feel like you're stronger? I'm being serious.
Nigga, if I'm fighting somebody and I've been getting my ass beat, and then my homie say, you can do it, and that nigga is still clearly superior to me, I'm still gonna get my ass beat.
He's not clearly superior because he's not like it's been one-sided. You have been beating his ass as well. Like, come on.
Nigga, who was on the ground? Who was on the ground, fam?
Who was
on the ground?
All I'm saying is Rob Lucci was breathing hard. His legs.
Who was on the ground? And when you answer that question, I also ask this question. Did Rob Lucci sneak him? Did he get snubbed? Or did Rob Lucci fight him straight up and he ended up on the ground?
We don't know. The only person that does that is Sanji. Sneaker.
You gonna answer the question?
Okay. First of all, yes, he was on the ground.
And did Rob Lucci sneak him? Did he?
And Rob Lucci did not sneak him. Yes.
Okay. Then so they fought head to head, and that nigga was clearly superior.
Clearly superior.
Well, he lost though. If he was superior,
he lost.
He lost. That's why it's fly hacks, bro.
No, that's not plot hacks. I honestly believe Luffy just has an extra gear than other people. He's a D. His lineage is dragon. It's God.
If you say D, it's plot hacks.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
You said it earlier in the stream that it's super luck. That's what you said.
Let me ask you this question, right? Did any of you guys see Klitschko versus Anthony Joshua? Yeah. Anyone?
So what now?
The Klitschko versus Anthony Joshua boxing match.
No, I didn't.
All right. Anyway, basically, Klitschko obviously is like one of the reigning heavyweight, whatever. Yeah. They've been beefing. Yeah, and Anthony Joshua the young gun. Yeah. So let's say Anthony Joshua's Luffy and Klitschko's Lucci. Yeah. Anthony Joshua gets one good hit in. Lucci's almost done, but he gets back up. Then Lucci smashes. Right. Yeah?
We're listening.
But
hey, to be honest, you can give me this explanation I want, but I haven't seen the fight, so I can't really.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
I can't really go with that.
It's just a difference between people is if they've got that extra gear in them, essentially.
But here's the thing though. How did he get stronger? How did he get more power when he was already fight. Look, if matter of fact, with a boxing match, if niggas just fighting for 12 rounds and 12 round, you in the 12th round, you're not about to bring more power and speed that you did in the first round.
If you're gonna die, then yeah, you might. Maybe not. I'm just saying, and it's a manga, like it's an anime, so essentially
Oh no,
those kind of things.
it's an anime. It's an anime which has plot hacks.
Okay, I agree that some points has plot hacks, but not in this instance. Not in this instance, no.
This very instance is like a definition of plot hacks.
Okay. If I think
when you succeed in something for the sake of the plot, when it's completely obvious that you're not supposed to succeed.
Okay, I'll put it this way: Luffy being a rubber man essentially, and him not taking as much damage as a normal human being would.
But
and
he still was beating on the ground, was he not?
Yes, I agree. And the fact that he has such a gift for just going, he just pushes himself further than anyone else would. Like, it's a life or death situation. Have you ever heard of situations where a guy has to lift the car just because he has to? Like, if he doesn't do it, he dies, kind of thing.
It's like as far as adrenaline.
Yeah, people just get extra strength from nowhere. Like sometimes.
Okay. But you know, if you like in a sustained fight for a long time, your adrenaline gonna run out, fam. You don't got infinite adrenaline. And Luffy was on his ass, passed out. I'm pretty sure his adrenaline levels was pretty much tapped at that moment.
Yeah.
But that was do or die. That's what I'm saying. If Luffy was still standing after the attack, and if Lucci got up and Luffy, there's no way if Lucci got up, he'd have lost. There's no way I can even justify that.
It would with this whole with this tangent you're going on right now, it'd be more plausible if he did that like how he did that last Gatling. If he did that caliber of Gatling when he first met Rob Lucci, when he first realized how serious the situation was, that would make more sense if we're talking about adrenaline and all that shit. But I mean, you at the end of your rope and you laying down, you've been beaten to a pulp and you breathing hard and you about to go unconscious. That adrenaline boost is not gonna help you, man. Straight up.
But I feel like
that shit is gone.
But we're using principles of the real world and not taking One Piece. Like One Piece, people just have
you
extra
just used that as a principle of the real world. Did you not?
What about the adrenaline thing?
Yes, you just use that principle as the real world. So if that's the case, then you might as well throw that whole shit out the door.
Well, okay, fuck it. Fuck the adrenaline point out. Okay, yeah, fuck the adrenaline point. But the point I'm trying to make is the One Piece world is just different, man.
Yes, it's different because it's full of plot hacks.
In some instances, yes, but I won't put that in that point. No. Lucci versus Luffy,
bro. But I can tell this is a going anywhere, so let's move on to a different subject.
Yeah. To be honest, this stream has been going on for a while now, so I better fucking it's been like this might be 4 hours or some shit.
Okay. Well, it was nice coming out. Appreciate y'all inviting me out to the stream.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
You already know I fucks with the Outer Haven hard.
Thank you guys for inviting me.
Yeah, you're welcome, Milo. Thanks for coming through. And whoever Grim is, thanks for coming through, Grim.
And then I think I'll help Grim out since he's not here. What time is it tonight, Steve-O?
Hold on, let me check.
I believe
it's 10:30 tonight.
Yeah, 10:30 Eastern. If you guys haven't
10:30 tonight for what?
For Grim. I'll put Durson and Grim's, and then I don't know, Milo, do you have a YouTube channel? I can't remember.
It's 10:30.
I don't have a channel.
It's 10:30 Eastern time.
Yeah, 10:30 Eastern. But I'll put Grim's description in the box below if you guys want to check
out. Oh, you're talking about Grim streaming at 10? Oh, okay, the draft.
Yeah,
One Piece draft.
Come check out Milo.
The first official match for the One Piece draft. Official match.
This is the first. I thought y'all been doing it.
We did like mock drafts before that.
Oh, okay.
And
come check out Milo body, everybody.
It's 10:30 Eastern time, 9:30 Central. I don't know what time Pacific.
And then Dan and I will be doing Outer Haven, repping Outer Haven Sunday, and then I don't know when Steeple. Tomorrow is our first match. Okay. Yeah.
Right, man. Hey, you back? Dude, that's good. Cool. That's good, guys. Outer Haven.
Of course. Assemble.
That's horrible. Oh, I thought you were trying to end the stream.
Nah.
Oh yeah. Let me end the stream. So anyway, thanks for everyone that stayed, stuck with the stream and everything. Thanks for coming through. Leave your comments. This was a One Piece whole kick arc discussion. So essentially, leave your positives and negatives in the comments. We did go on a bit of a tangent there. So if there's any topic that we talked about today with us, and we'll add some stuff to the title, yeah. And we'll put like a timeline.
Change the title to plot hacks.
I think we should entitle it "Nikki Denies Plot Hacks."
I agree on some plot hacks.
I like that one.
A plot hack. Nikki is a plot hack denier.
You put Nikki's name too many times.
Yeah, it's true. My name's a lot of titles because of my. But anyway, thanks for coming through, everybody. Appreciate it. Subscribe to Our Haven. Subscribe to Milo, Dustin, Grim as well. Thanks for our guests. And also join the Discord. And yeah, we'll be back either this weekend or next week with a stream when One Piece is back from a break. So yeah.
No, One Piece sucks, man.
Yeah. I know.
We need One Piece every week.
So yeah, keep posted on the Discord. We'll keep you updated if we're doing a stream very soon. So but always expect one next week anyway. Every Thursday we're here, 5 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget. Our Haven in this bitch.
Outer Haven.
Disperse. Dun 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 dun. Don't forget Jinbei and Reiju's gonna die. End of
Nikki, stop. Stop.
It's gonna happen, my love. Don't forget. It's gonna happen. We might still be live though. My laptop's lagging a bit.
Look like we're still live. Ooh.
Wait, I'm trying to get this off. Damn, it's frozen, son. Oh, wait. Okay, wait.
Yo.
Hey, someone play some elevator music or something.
Do I need to sign on to the account?
Yeah, can you sign in? Just yeah.
It's gonna send me over here.
Ooh.
Alright. Well, yeah, I think we should. But actually, wait, should I say this after the stream or during this? Okay, whatever. I think we should just split this stream though, because we at least can change the. I don't know if you can, but yeah. Oh.
Can't end the stream.
I'm trying to, man. It's my